Nothing like it in baseball. Wrigleyville, the Cardinals and the Cubs. Sold-out crowd expected on a cool afternoon for baseball. The ivy-covered walls of historic Wrigley Field. And this afternoon, game one of a three-game set. The St. Louis Cardinals and the Chicago Cubs. And along with my partner Al Raboski, I'm Dan McLaughlin. We saw some milestones yesterday in Pittsburgh concerning Matt Holliday, Jeff Suppan, certainly Albert Pujols getting to that historic 40th home run for the sixth time in his career. But in this situation today, Al, that elusive 20 wins for Adam Wainwright.
And you know, it slipped through his hands last season, and you can see how tough it is. Last 25 years, just 5 Cardinal pitchers have reached the 20-win plateau. The last 2 years, Adam Wainwright is 138.
Al, how about today? And there's some of the highlights of Adam Wainwright when he's right, the fastball, the curveball, but the wind is going to play a factor in this cool afternoon today.
The wind is blowing out, but he's 4-0 in this ballpark. Let's hope that continues and get number 20.
When we come back, we head back to the studio. Cal Eldred, Pat Paris, they'll talk about the Cy Young candidates for St. Louis. Back with more in just a moment.
Tudor is 1 out away from his 20th win, his 13th complete game, and his 10th shutout. Off the stretch, and the pitch to Mike Schmidt is on the way. Swing and a bouncing ball to third. Pendleton throws. That's the winner. And the Cardinals stay 4 games out in front.
What a dominant year it was for John Tudor, winning his 20th game back on September 26, 1985. Also, in 85, the Cardinals boasting a 20-game winner in Joaquin Andujar, actually 2 21-game winners. And not until 2000 could the Cardinals claim another 20-game winner, but the first-year Cardinal Darryl Kyle was sensational, pitching with the Birds on the bat, going 20-9 for that pennant-winning ball club. And then the following season, Matt Morris had his best year as a Redbird. He won a career-high 22 that 2001 season, 22-8 with a 3.16 ERA and a couple of memorable outings against the D-backs in the playoffs. The Cards wouldn't have to wait long for another 20-game winner, 2005.
Got him on the inside corner, and the Cardinals have another 20-game winner. It's Chris Carpenter, 20-4.
Carp, the last 20-game winner. He won 21 in 2005 and that Cy Young Award. Can Adam Wainwright win number 20 today, and also the biggest prize for a pitcher? That's the backdrop for today's game, and the last 5 Cards to win 20 in a season. A look at Wrigley Field in Chicago. Cards and Cubs still a little ways away here on Fox Sports Midwest. We'll get you set. Cal Eldred and myself, I'm Pat Paris, coming to you from our Fox Sports Midwest studio in St. Louis. We continue to look at those Cardinal fans that make their way to Wrigley Field as they do every year, Cal.
You see a lot of red, and it's Cardinal red in Wrigley Field at this time of the year.
And you've got a lot of young Cardinals making impacts with this ball club right now, guys with limited experience that aren't so young either. One guy that's now very well established in the Cardinals uniform and in the National League is Adam Wainwright. Let's talk Cy Young race, and Adam Wainwright certainly still in the mix, Cal.
Adam Wainwright is in the mix. Early in the year, it was all Ubaldo Jimenez. Now it is Adam Wainwright and Roy Halladay. And, you know, really, Halladay's been nasty. I look at, there's two statistics I look at. Both of them have started 32 games, Halladay and Wainwright, and Halladay has over 241 innings. Waino's 224, just a little bit more than that. But really, the wins, you know, that's the big difference. And right now, it's not a big difference. It won't be after today.
Certainly won't. We talked to our experts and our friends. Ken Rosenthal of FoxSports.com, a senior baseball writer. He says right now it is still insanely close, but he's going with Adam Wainwright. Our buddy over at the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, Joe Strauss, he says Roy Halladay, he's been better. And if he wins 20 games, Cal, you think it's going to go to Waino?
I do think it's going to go to Waino because Joe Strauss, if you're listening, Adam Wainwright was better than Tim Lincecum last year, and he did not win the Cy Young Award. So evidently that is not a criteria. But
speaking of that,
yes,
let's look at last year, and it came down to Tim Lincecum and Adam Wainwright for many, although some will say Chris Carpenter kind of split the Cardinal vote. But you look at the first 24 starts, and Tim Lincecum was almost like the Ubaldo Jimenez. He was the guy early, and then the last 8 starts, it was Adam Wainwright that was unbelievably good, but he just couldn't get that 20th win, and some say that hurt him as well. Tim Lincecum struggled down the stretch in his last 8 starts, but somehow he ended up winning. And you hope that it isn't the other way around. Well, you do hope it's that other way around for Adam Wainwright this year, that he was so good early on. He struggled a little bit in recent games, and you think, well, hopefully, whatever they looked at last year, the writers, they'll look at it with Adam Wainwright this year.
With Adam and the offense, the way it's gone this year, when he has struggled, he's gotten a loss. With Roy Halladay, his last 4 ball games, he's 4-0 with a 4.55 earned run average, and he has all those 4 wins.
Right.
You take a couple of those wins away, he's 18-10. Now all of a sudden Adam Wainwright picks up a couple wins or 1 win in that stretch when he really wasn't that bad. He struggled really in 3 of those 4 ball games. Right. And he got 4 losses for that. You trade that around, you're talking a 20-win season for Adam Wainwright already, and then 17 to 18 win season for Roy Halladay at this point.
You're absolutely right. I'd like to lean towards Wainwright as well. We thank Joe Strauss. We thank Ken Rosenthal for their contributions. By the way, Joe Strauss does not have the Cy Young vote. It's actually Derek Gould that has that. It is Joe Strauss with the MVP, but we didn't want to ask them about the category they were voting in because they still have a week and a half to go, but we do appreciate their contributions here on Cardinals Live as we get you set for the Cardinals and the Cubs when we continue on this extended version of the pregame show. We'll talk more about the upcoming day. Mark Hamilton, a.k.a. Mark Harmon, one of the guys called up and making an impact on the Cardinals. So look at the standings now for for all the divisions. 2 of the 3 divisions, because there's not really a race in the Central, unfortunately. Philly with us, there's not really a race in the East either. They're gonna win that one. The real race is in the West. We'll be watching this all the way to the end. It's a 3-horse race with San Diego and San Francisco also in charge in the wild card. Games tonight for you to look at. San Francisco is at Colorado. It's Lincecum versus Shaken, and Lincecum not in the Cy Young race, but certainly will have an impact on whether or not San Francisco makes the postseason. And San Diego is hosting Cincinnati tonight. Potential playoff preview of some sort. It
is, and San Diego, the only thing with San Diego is their offense just look a little shaky right now.
And it's a Royal versus Young in that one. Tim Hudson on the mound, Atlanta in Washington. Washington helping us out, looking over our shoulders at the Astros last few days. But Atlanta playing Washington, so Nats will try to play spoilers. Atlanta, really, their hope is in the wild card.
I like Hudson in that game. He's been so good. You know, he had a few more wins, we'd be looking at him in the side.
You're right about that. And New York in Philadelphia as the Phillies machine is on a roll right now. Kyle Kendrick on the mound for them.
They're going to score 10 tonight. Phillies are scoring 10
They do every night. They score 10 every night.
That's not going out on a limb, is it?
No, it's not going out on a limb. And I think you don't want to, crown the National League winner already, but it does seem like the Phillies are peaking at the right time. They got healthy again, and that was the key for them.
They got healthy, and you can almost go ahead and crown them because of their experience. The guys that got healthy, are Ibanez, and you really think about the fact that now all those hitters are in that lineup now. And Utley, to me, he's the most important cog in that lineup. He's healthy, and they're scoring a lot of runs.
And then you look over in the American League side of things, and I think we're all kind of, I won't say we're fans of the Twins because we know what happened in a certain World Series that didn't work out for the St. Louis Cardinals. But they're a team you can kind of root for because they're the small market, and you'd like to think that they'll have a chance against the Yankees this year.
And they're doing it without Morneau at first base. Those guys have been, without him, it's amazing. But you know what? I'm a Jim Thome fan, a Minnesota Twins fan. They do it through their minor league system. They're a lot of fun to watch.
They are, and they do it the right way, there's no doubt. Thank you so much for watching this extended edition of Cardinals Live. It is the Cards and Cubs, the ivy-covered walls at Wrigley. Coming up next, we'll see you afterwards for Cardinals Live.
Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Bud Light. The sure sign of a good time. Here we go. By Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, #1 for quality tires and expert auto service. By Steak and Shake, life needs flavor. And by Chevy's Expert Auto Service. See your Mid-America Chevy dealers or shop and compare at stlchevy.com. Wrigley Field opened up back in 1914, the first game that was ever played here on April 23rd of that year. The wind is blowing out. It's a cool afternoon here in Chicago as Adam Wainwright looks to get win number 20 today. Had a chance to do that last year. And a look at Tony La Russa's lineup. A lot of changes, as Jim alluded to in the pregame show. Aaron Miles will lead it off, followed by Colby Rasmus and then Albert Pujols. Matt Holliday, Alan Craig, and Pedro Feliz. Matt Pagnazzi, Brendan Ryan at short, and Wainwright, the pitcher, is batting ninth. The Cardinals face a former Pirate who grew up in this area, Tom Gorzolani. Gorzolani trying to get to that 500 mark. And at times he struggled this year, especially early on, but been better last couple of months, and his record stands at 7-8.
27 years of age now, 14-game winner in his first full season at the big league level. That was when he's pitching for the Pirates. He's been in the bullpen for a while. Then his last time out, he was knocked out by Tabata. Hit a line drive off his hand, so we'll see what he possesses today.
The defense for Chicago this afternoon: Fold, Bird, and Snyder. In the outfield, Ramirez, Castro, their really good-looking shortstop, Blake DeWitt, Xavier Nady, and Gorzolani and Coy Hill, the Cubs battery this afternoon. Around the Horn is brought to you by Dobbs, and a former Cub leads it off and greeted with boos, and that's the switch-hitting Aaron Miles, who's at .301 in 71 games, and good numbers, 8 for 18 against Gorzolani.
Aaron knew he'd be in the lineup today with his success against Gorzolani. 8 for 18.
.61 degrees, our game time temperature. The ball was just an easy swing and flying out of the ballpark here at Wrigley Field with the wind blowing out. 1 ball, 1 strike.
First thing you do when you show up at Wrigley Field, if you're a pitcher or a hitter, you look at where the flags are blowing.
And a little ground ball here to second. Miles is the first out. And it is whipping here at Wrigley Field.
You try to get it up in the air, and it won't take much. That this ballpark will knock it right out for you.
Colby Rasmus is hitting .280, 23 home runs, and he's driven in 65. Home plate umpire is Rob Drake. Crew chief is Joe West at first. Dan Bellino at second, Angel Hernandez over at third. So there's a look at your crew chief, Joe West. Cardinals coming off a win yesterday in Pittsburgh, and the Cubs were blown out by San Francisco here at home. All 3 games against the Giants for the Cubs resulted in shutouts, and the Cubs won the middle game of that 3-game set. 1-1 pitch.
Wind was blowing out for one side last night.
That was the way it went.
13-0 San Francisco.
Cardinals in games decided by 3 runs or less since August 7th, Al, are 6-17. And then you look at the numbers against sub-500 teams that we've talked about. You win a few of those games, you play 500 against those teams, and maybe the Cardinals are playing for the division.
I don't think there's any doubt. They're just going to play good baseball. The Cardinals have lost 5 straight to the Cubs. That's painful enough. They're the breaking ball on the outside, and look at how far he chases that ball out of the strike zone.
The Cubs swept the Cardinals just a little over a week ago at Busch Stadium, and it was clear the Cubs didn't want to do anything with Albert Pujols and give him pitches to hit. In 2 of the 3 games he played, he went up to the plate 10 times. And he was either walked or hit by a pitch in half of those plate appearances.
All ball clubs say that. They aren't going to let Albert beat you, but he sure finds his opportunities and takes advantage of them.
But right now you've got a situation if you're Gorzolani and dealing with Pujols, and then the man on deck who's swinging a hot bat, and that's Matt Holliday. A 2-0 pitch to Pujols. Catches the outside corner. Cardinals come in at 78-74. Chicago at 69 and 83. They want to go inside in a 2-1 pitch. This is in 3-1.
It's a long time since neither one of these clubs had anything to really play for in September other than personal goals. And the Cardinals took care of a lot of those yesterday.
3-1 pitch and a ball.
So Albert hesitated because he did have one outside pitch called to strike. Clear was a ball, but he wasn't going to take any chances and leave the batter's box.
Gorzelani was staring back at our home plate umpire. Here's Matt Holliday. In his career, Holliday is a .332 hitter in the month of September. That trend certainly has continued this season. 15-game hitting streak, the longest active streak right now in the majors. And he has a hit in all but 2 games this month. If you go back to August 18th, Holliday has gone hitless in only 3 games.
Okay. Over 400 this month, .326 batter on the road.
And Tony will tell you that these 2 guys, both Holliday and Pujols, never ask out of the lineup. And even though there isn't a lot to play for team-wise, they want to be in there and play every day.
And Dan, you can carry even further. You know, when you have 2 superstars that abide by all the rules, you know, are never late, they're always here, they have great work ethic. You know, that's a manager's dream, just to have the superstars be able to set the tone and show the younger players, you know, how hard work pays off.
Runner at first, 2 outs. That's Pujols. And a 1-0 to Matt Holliday. Hit out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gorzelani was traded to the Chicago Cubs along with John Grabo for Kevin Hart and Jose Escano and minor league third baseman Josh Harrison. And Gorzelani has been an all-star in his career and another one of those young Pirate pitchers that they decided didn't have a future in Pittsburgh.
You know, former #1 draft pick, they get to a certain level and then they just don't progress. He was a 14-game winner in his first full season in the big leagues and has struggled since then.
Features 3 main pitches. 4-seam fastball that's in the mid-90s at times. Slider. And he's got a changeup. And you won't see a lot of curveballs from Gorzelani. He threw a lot earlier in his career, but not as many. It's mostly the changeup and the fastball. I say he's gone away from that breaking ball. That's out of play.
Throws a changeup. Let's see if we can tell. That looks like it's a circle changeup.
And they say that with that changeup, Al, he'll get a difference of about 12 to 14 miles an hour.
And that's great. That differential, you know, a lot of times you say if you can get 11 or more, it makes it highly effective, especially if that's the same arm action on your fastball.
2-2 hit to the right side, base hit. Pujols to second, runners at first and second with 2 outs. And Alan Craig will come to the plate. Matt Holliday with a 16-game hitting streak.
16, his career high was in 07 was 17. Pitch out away from him, and look where he just goes out there, reaches and just pushes it through the right side. It's the longest hitting streak by a Cardinal this season.
Alan Craig had a base hit yesterday, has a pair of home runs this year and 12 RBIs.
Stavanoa, who got a couple hits, his first 2 plate appearances in yesterday's game, was initially in the lineup playing right field, but has a tenderness in a knee, and so taken out of the lineup, and an opportunity for Alan Craig.
You would have to think that that knee really hurts because the wind is blowing out and you'd have a great chance to have a little fun at the plate.
You know, you would have to think that because, you know, Stavanoa is a tough kid. He got a football mentality, and, you know, you just have to drag him out. Saw a lot of extensive talks there, so he might have said something to Tony, and then Tony said, I'm taking you out, and he might have been lobbying to get back in there with the wind blowing out.
1 ball and 2 strikes. I'm sure a lot of folks are questioning why not Daniel Descalso in this lineup. After Daniel had 4 hits yesterday at Pittsburgh. The ivy is moving, turning brown. Windy day here at the ballpark. 1-2. Foul.
Hopefully it hit a seat, and I think it did because it carried him all the way out onto the field. But look out.
Is it surprising for you in all your years of baseball that you haven't seen more fans hurt at a game?
Yes.
I agree. I mean, the fan is having a conversation. You just take your eye off the field for that brief second.
You just see how many times even in batting practice.
Yeah.
But, you know, players have made suggestions. Well, why don't you put a netting all the way around, you know, past third base, and Major League Baseball basically says no, that that would interfere with the, you know, the enjoyment of the game, being up close and personal.
Outside.
Having a chance to really get hurt by a foul ball.
3-2 with 2 outs, so runners off with this pitch. Holiday at first, Pujols at second. Good chance for the Cardinals here in the top of the first.
You got to take advantage of it, don't you? Put pressure on the Cubbies right now. Take that lead. Help out the quest for number 20 for Adam Wainwright.
And there is no doubt that these players know all about what's at stake here today. Number 20 for Wainwright.
Well, especially with what happened last season,
right,
when he had 19, his last opportunity, when he left the mound, and he left some runners on, but it was a 6-0 lead, and the reliable bullpen had one of its rare meltdowns, and he was denied his 20th and probably the Cy Young Award.
I think it probably cost him that. Now,
absolutely.
Carpenter did take some of those votes away because he was in that conversation too. But 20 is different than 19.
Yeah, it would have separated. And Adam did get the most first place votes, but ended up finishing third.
A 3-2 to Craig. High fly ball out to deep left field. At the track, at the wall. 3-0 St. Louis. Alan Craig with his third of the year. Now with 15 RBIs, Craig puts the Cardinals on top.
All he did was get that ball up in the air. You first thought it would be out on the street, but ended up about 2 rows deep. But Adams got the lead now, and his mind, he's going to saying, I need to throw a shutout, but he does have a little bit of a leeway as this ball just gets up there. They didn't go that far, that deep, but anytime you get a ball in the air, it's got a chance.
Here's Pedro Feliz. I thought it was going to be about at least halfway up.
Yeah, I did too.
The seats, and it was close to the basket. The bleachers out there in left field. 3-0 Cardinals thanks to Alan Craig. Now initially Descalso was going to play third, and now we see a veteran here at this ballpark, Pedro Feliz.
Well, this is not the easiest infield, and Tony La Russa yesterday said Pedro Feliz was going to play today, and then Descalso would probably play tomorrow.
Feliz with a fly ball into right. Look at this, playing tricks on the right fielder. Snyder who makes the catch. Wainwright is given a 3-run lead in his quest for 20 this afternoon. Alan Craig on a windy day here at Wrigley Field has made it 3-0 St. Louis. And a look at the Cubs lineup: Fold, Castro and Bird, then Ramirez, Nady, DeWitt, Snyder, Coy Hill, and then Tom Borzolani. Adam Wainwright looking for win number 20 this afternoon. Strike to Sam Fold. Second stint with the Cubs. Marshall Wireless Sprint starter. 5 complete games, 19-11, 2.45 ERA for Wainwright.
There's a lot of great stats for Adam this year. He's never lost here at Wrigley Field, 4-0.
Here's a fly ball out to left field. Holiday battling the sun as well, makes the catch. Defense behind Wainwright. Holiday, Rasmus, and Craig. This is presented by Dobbs, Feliz, Ryan, Miles, and Pujols. And the battery is Wainwright and Matt Pagnozzi. Let's go back to Descalso, and he sits, and Feliz is in.
Well, yesterday before the game, Feliz was going to make this start. And then when Tony got the great 4 for 5, couple RBIs from Descalso, he initially put him in the lineup. But all night he just wrestled with the thought, what would happen? This is not an easy field.
This will carry to right, backing up, making the catch, Alan Craig.
This is not an easy field to play in, so let Descalso, have a day of practice on the field. Go out there, put Feliz out here like he was going to do, especially when you saw the wind blowing out. He just felt like pop-ups can be very tricky. He just felt it'd be horrible if all of a sudden Descalso dropped the ball and it cost Wainwright a victory. So Descalso will play tomorrow and probably majority of the season.
Another fly ball. Marlon Byrd, shallow right center, and over to make the catch, Colby Rasmus. Good start for Wainwright. 3-0 after 1. Who has had the most disappointing season? Our U.S. Cellular text poll. Cardinals or Cubs? Text season. A or B to 432-432.
It's real simple in my mind.
Cardinals.
Yeah. Cubs are always disappointed, but the Cardinals really thought they would, especially when you left Cincinnati, you had a 1-game lead. You thought at that point they would take off, and things just kind of crumbled.
Cubs have had a lot of changes with their lineup. Pitching staff, Ted Lilly no longer here. Derek Lee, their manager, is gone, and Lou Piniella. Here's Matt Pagnozzi for strike 1.
Actually played very well under their new interim manager, Mike Quaddy. They won 2 out of every 3 games.
Cubs are 18-9 in the 27 games that he's been here. Second best record in the National League, third in the majors in that span. Only the Phillies and Minnesota Twins have been better during that time. And some people are believing with this run, he might have put himself in the running for the manager next year.
I don't think there's any doubt. You have to consider what he's done, because he's doing it, right here and turning the season around. He's spent an awful lot of time, 17 years managing the minor leagues.
Out to right, Snyder back to make the catch. This is going to be a very tough field today for these outfielders, and Chicago has committed 121 errors this season. That's most in baseball, and the team's most since 139 since back in 1999. Look at that flag. Glorious is whipping today.
It's already wrapped around there a time or two, and that's why it was a great start for Adam. 3 up, 3 down, but 3 fly balls, not what is recommended with the wind blowing out.
Brendan Ryan hitting .218, 2 homers and 33 driven in. The Cubs enter this ball game with a total home attendance just shy of 3 million. We'll go over the 3 million mark for the 7th consecutive season, going back to 2004 tomorrow. Cubs are the only Chicago professional sports team to ever reach 3 million in attendance. Brendan Ryan down the left field line. This could be trouble, and it is. Great effort out there in left, but Brendan Ryan winds up with a double. Applaud the effort of Sam Fuld, who almost came up with a dazzling play in left field.
And probably wouldn't have changed the results either way. Brendan Ryan is going to probably get a double out of it either way. Right down the middle. Puts a good swing on it. Here's your senior effort by the young left fielder, Fuld. And change up out in front, but not too far out in front. Hits it solidly.
And I'm sure that's why he felt he could make that attempt, knowing that he was that close to the wall. And one way or another, it winds up as a double. Adam Wainwright this year is hitting .160, 5 RBIs.
Adam can really help himself and has 5 career home runs, so be careful. Don't let him get a ball up in the air.
Here's an 0-1 pitch. And that is a fair ball. Brendan Ryan, he will score easily. Wainwright makes it 4-0 Cardinals. Digging for 2 and in there safely. His 6th RBI this year. 4-0 St. Louis. Back-to-back doubles. You can log on to foxsportsmidwest.com right now and chat with our producers, writers, and even Jim Hayes or Pat Paris. Cardinals live chat right now at foxsportsmidwest.com.
So hopefully the Cardinal offense will give them something to chat about.
So far, so good.
Yeah, banged out 15 hits yesterday and kept their hitting shoes on.
Remember in that game, Al, and you touched upon it, it was a 6-0 lead last year. Wainwright trying to get to 20 wins. Bullpen allowed 12 runs in relief. Now, there were some errors mixed in there, but Wainwright had a few games to get number 20, but then had to watch that 6-run lead disappear with no games left on the season. That had to be tough for him.
Undoubtedly, but he handled it like the pro he is.
Fly ball left center. That carries all the way to the track. Off the bat of Aaron Miles. Marlon Byrd with the catch.
Then the wind blows in twice as much as when it blows out, but you usually, when it blows out like this, it usually becomes one of those games that become lore.
And 4 runs isn't enough.
No. And how about the game? And speaking of 4 runs, Adam Wainwright is 18-0 when receiving 4 more runs of support this year. But remember the game where Sandberg hit 2 home runs off of Bruce Sutter, and I remember in the 70s there was the Cubs and the Phillies both scored in the 20s. Something like 23-21, but that's what makes Wrigley Field, the lore of Wrigley Field is when the wind blows out.
2 outs and the 0-1 pitch. I thought the worst game that we've seen weather-wise here in Wrigley was the game that Marrero, remember he broke his ankle
it didn't
right?
happen.
Yep.
He broke his ankle.
What, 2 or 3 innings?
Just first baseman Tito Martinez hit 2 home runs in a game that wasn't played.
Right.
Didn't get to regulation and they canceled it. I mean, that just kind of summed up Tino's Cardinal career, wasn't it?
Yeah. 1-2 the count on Colby Rasmus. Foul ball found its way into the Cardinal dugout and just missed those guys. Crowded bench down there. 2-2.
Be in trouble because you could be all so close there you couldn't get out of the way. That's where the men reside. Actually, right now they're probably a little more comfortable than in the dugout because they're in the sun.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. Rasmus is swing and a miss. Gorzelani with 2 strikeouts, both of Colby. Wainwright helping his cause. It's 4-0. Toyota keys to the game. Adam Wainwright, his career as a starter at Wrigley Field, 5 starts, 4-0, 4.60 ERA, and nearly 9 strikeouts per 9 innings. Our Toyota keys to the game. Right now, Cardinals have a 5-game losing streak to the Cubs. First time that's ever happened in Tony La Russa's career that he's lost 5 in a row to Chicago. Here's Ramirez, a fly ball, and there the Cubs get on the board. Long home run, Aramis Ramirez.
Well, not the first time Ramirez has hit a home run off of Adam in very good numbers. Over 360 with now 2 home runs when batting against Adam Wainwright. Like we said, 4 runs is great, but probably not enough. And Adam can't get that ball down as 4 batters, 4 flies. This one he doesn't get back.
Xavier Nady, a .258 hitter this year. Good breaking ball. Lee Buckler. Nady with 6 home runs, 33 RBIs.
Really just playing the last couple months as he was recovering from Tommy John surgery. Trade of Derek Lee has allowed him a lot more playing time.
The 0-2. Another curveball. Hit to short. Brendan Ryan up with it. One away. Cardinals have a great deal for all college students and staff. College nights feature discounted loge box seats for just $10. And to get your tickets or for more information, visit cardinals.com/college. Blake DeWitt was with the Dodgers, came over in the Lilly deal. Terrio.
Off to a good start with the Cubbies, but of late has really slowed down.
Another curveball for a strike. Last time the Cardinals as a team lost 5 straight to the Cubs in the same year, 1984. Last time they lost 6 straight was the year before that, 83. One out, and here's the 0-2. Fights it off, little floater into center, and a diving catch. Nope, he missed it. Hustling all the way, DeWitt into second base.
It's another aspect of when the wind's blowing out, your outfielders have a tendency to think deep, and maybe even their first step is back. So even on a ball where it's off the end of the bat, they don't get that first initial break. Jams him right here, but you kind of think the wind's out, it's going to carry the ball, and you have to come in and just cannot hold on to it. We'll be tracking it. Gets it off the fingertips of the glove, can't hold on, and it's a double for Blake DeWitt.
And a curveball and a strike to Brad Snyder. It looked like a little bit that Colby was hesitant at first in the initial jump.
Yeah, and it just happens that way because of the fact, you know, you think the wind blowing out, everything's going to carry to you, and you don't get the same reads as you normally would.
Get well wishes to Keith O'Brien, big Cardinal fan who's taking in baseball this afternoon on Fox Sports Midwest. Get well, Keith. 1-1 pitch. Out of play.
And this Brad Snyder, who Adam is facing right now, big power guy, big numbers at AAA, hit 308, but had 106 RBIs, 271 total bases with Iowa. That ranked second in the Pacific Coast League. 97 runs scored. Former #1 draft pick of Cleveland, and was claimed on waivers.
2-2.
Had a Rudy Jaramillo, a very highly heralded hitting instructor for the Cubs. I was talking to him about the difference between AAA and the big leagues.
Two pitch. Strikeout.
And one of the things he said, if somebody's going to strike out 100 times down there, you better add a minimum of 50 more up here. And like Dave Duncan said, you know, the best pitcher you're seeing in AAA isn't good enough to be the worst pitcher on a staff here. And one of the things that Rudy said was, so why is there such a vast difference between AAA players and big leagues today? He said, well, one thing, the pitcher's break is early in AAA. They don't get this late movement like you see in the big league pitchers. And so even if a guy throws a breaking ball or something, they can recognize it well out in front of the plate, and they can determine whether they're going to lay off it. But the late break you see at the major league level just really befuddles these young hitters.
2 outs, runner at second. Coy Hill, their catcher, hitting .223. Remember, this is a lineup that does not have Derek Lee, who's been traded to Atlanta, Tyler Colvin, who was injured after the bat incident in Florida, and then Giovanni Soto. And those three coming into this game had accounted for 10 of the 14 home runs the Cubs have hit against the Cardinals this year.
Let's hope that continues that way.
2-1 the count.
Change up. It's up there a little bit and out in front, swings through it.
Breaking ball that floats in there but misses at 70 miles an hour.
Trying to backdoor it there. Left-hand hitter give up on it. I think it's outside and then it breaks down and over the plate. Pretty simple formula. If you can not walk anybody and keep the ball in the ballpark, you got a good chance to win.
3-1 pitch with a runner at second. And a walk to Hill. And Borzolani will be the batter. Not necessarily the worst thing there. Bring up the pitcher here with 2 runners on. Borzolani is hitting 135. No home runs and 2 RBIs.
I get your point, but you know it's a hitter that's batting in the 8th spot for a reason. And you just talk about, the worst thing you can do is put people on base, especially when the wind blowing out. Now I know the pitcher's coming up, but if you can really bear down on that 8th place hitter, retire Hill for the 3rd out this inning, then you got an easy 1/3 of the way through the next inning, getting the pitcher out, leading off the inning.
1-0 pitch. Wainwright is the first Cardinals pitcher to record back-to-back 200 strikeout seasons since Jose De Leon. He did it in '88-'89. Bob Gibson had 5 consecutive years between '62 and '66. Didn't get there in '67. Then he did it 3 consecutive years, '68, '69, and '70.
Well, I broke his leg in '67. Line drive off the bat of Clemente, and that's what kept him from the 200.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. Changeup.
Yeah, that's changeup is. I'm not too sure that it wasn't the pitch that Ramirez hit out, but obviously the ball was up and Ramirez good success, but that has become a weapon in the second half that he has relied on a lot, the changeup.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Curveball that time, a check swing. And he went. Strikeout of Borzolani. He strands 2. Cubs, though, get on the board with a home run by Ramirez. Pujols coming up. Fly ball, left field, at the track, it's at the wall, and there it is. Home run number 40 this season for Albert Pujols.
Another milestone for Albert. 40 home runs, 406 in his career.
Opposite field, well hit, near the wall, and that ball is gone. 2 home runs today for Albert Pujols. History made yesterday at PNC Park. And prior to this season, Pujols had never hit more than 13 home runs off of left-handers in a season. And he had 2 yesterday, now has 18 home runs off lefties. It's the most since Barry Bonds had 21 in 2002. 2 balls and no strikes. Jim Hayes is with us. Al Raboski, Dan McLaughlin with you. Pujols first time up, walked and scored. The home run by Alan Craig. 3-0. And a walk to Pujols on 4 straight. The Cardinals, Jim, have made it official with Jaime Garcia that they are going to shut him down now the rest of the season.
Precautionary measure, Dan. They had skipped Jaime's last couple of starts. There were some concern about arm fatigue, and they went ahead and made the decision. Talked to Jaime, who wanted to pitch, who wanted to be there for his teammates. He understood. The bottom line, say the Cardinals and Jaime, his health is fine. It was just a concern about arm fatigue, and John Mozeliak pointed out, where the Cardinals are right now, best to err on the side of caution.
Here's Holiday, who extended his hitting streak to 16 games. And Al, I'm sure you agree with that, right?
Most definitely. I felt all along when they made the suggestion for him to miss a start, and they really at that time wanted to shut him down for the year. He put up such a protest, and you respect him for doing so. But I felt like he was going to miss the next start, and then I didn't think he would be starting again. And I think it's for the betterment of Jaime, and I think he also wins some brownie points with his teammates that he didn't want to abandon them, just resting on having a good year.
And Jaime points out, I understand that the Cardinals are the boss and they have my best interests at heart and the interests of the team, but he's a competitor and he felt healthy enough to go, so he let them know about it.
And I liked his comments with you, Jim, about it's going to be a different spring training for him. He'll have a healthy workout all winter long, but he'll go into spring training, not saying he has to win the job. We know he's going to be a starter, and he's not going to lay down and not work hard, but he knows he can kind of work at his pace and just prepare for opening day rather than trying to make the team from the first day of spring.
And plus, with all the success that he did have this year, he says the knowledge on how to get through the grind and be as consistent as possible will only make him better next year, he's hoping.
Yeah, I mean, I thought all of his comments were very, very positive and really looking forward to the next big challenge.
I mean, he could have been, if he would have continued every fifth day, 16, maybe 17 game winner this year. He would have had that chance.
Well, I've said all along that in my mind, he has by far been the best National League rookie pitcher. He won't win the Rookie of the Year because there's some guys having some good seasons as position players.
It's back-to-back walks. Follow the Cardinals on your iPhone, iPod Touch, BlackBerry, and Android phone with MLB.com at Bat 2010. Features play-by-play, video highlights, and live audio broadcasts. For more information, visit Cardinals.com today. Craig is homered. That made it 3-0. Wainwright with an RBI double made it 4-0. Ramirez homered for the Cubs, and that's where we're at right now, 4-1. Larry Rothschild out to visit with Gorzelani, and that's the third visit we've seen, whether it be with the catcher or now pitching coach with Tom Gorzelani.
Well, part of it, these two battery mates aren't getting along, but then Gorzelani says, "What are you coming out here for me? You told me in the Sky Report, don't let Pujols and Holiday beat me. So I'm not letting them beat me." But we also, when you're flirting with danger, or when you walk people, when you're in this explosive ballpark and the wind blowing out.
I also wanted to mention from the Cardinals' point of view too, with Jaime, they look around the league and see when young players, young pitchers pile up a certain amount of innings, it goes south on them fast, and they just wanted to avoid that with Jaime, especially considering that the Cardinals aren't in it right now. Give him a lot of positives to take into the offseason.
A lot of clubs now believe that you
runner from second goes. That's Pujols to third. He is safe. Did that on his own.
Yeah, he does that, and that's a real tough call for the trail runner. Holiday, he can't move until he sees Albert really go there, and if he doesn't have a good jump, you're better off not running. But Albert does this. It's his 13th steal. Been a while because of his little sore legs and everything, but an indication maybe how he's feeling. A little upset they walked him twice, so he's going to make it pay.
Craig, a foul tip. Home run by Alan Craig, his third of the year. That gives him 15 RBIs. It came on a 3-2 pitch with 2 outs back in the first.
I was going to say that Jaime, who's close to 170 innings, his career high was 155 in his first year in the minor leagues. A lot of people think 10-15% is how many an increase per year in your innings pitched.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
This guy didn't even know Alan Craig. He was in the starting lineup until Tony pointed at him and said, "No, it's you."
A bunch of guys didn't.
Yeah, Stavanoa has the knee issue, and Tony said just before game time he would talk to Nick and make a decision. So I saw him point at Craig and say, "It's you."
made it into the Cubs dugout.
That's what we say. It's really tough with the expanded roster. Sometimes you don't have much room to move because you run into one of your teammates on that bench. Found the opening in the going down the steps into the dugout.
I think maybe it's a good thing. Some of these guys press, and if they know they're in the lineup, you start thinking about it. Well, this way comes to the ballpark, late insertion into the lineup, and here you go.
I'll tell you a story about a Hall of Fame pitcher. There's a Hall of Fame pitcher that made it as a reliever, but early in his career he was a starter and got so nervous on the day he was supposed to start. They went about 6 turns saying you're not in the rotation, but every 5th day you just end up pitching, but no, you're not in the rotation. But he just couldn't handle it, worrying about it those 5 days, and ended up being a Hall of Fame reliever.
Here's a ground ball to second, double play ball. One scores, that's Pujols, and the stolen base comes through. Back to a 4-run lead. It's 5-1 St. Louis.
I would imagine as a starter, aside from the challenges of getting guys out when it's your turn, but after a bad start, having to sit on it for days, it's got to be tough to deal with.
It is, and I've seen guys that are very good pitchers in the minor leagues, but I knew they'd never make it to the big leagues because the other 4 days they were just so bored they didn't want to be a baseball player.
Feliz, little tapper, tough play, base hit. It's do or die for Ramirez on the bare hand, and he misplayed it. So Feliz picks up a base hit. You going to tell us who the Hall of Famer was?
Ramirez trying to do or die play, and
Al, you're avoiding it.
I'm not going to tell you it was Raleigh Fingers.
Okay.
I didn't tell you that. Feliz needed that one, didn't he? He was batting 140 in September.
Matt Pagnazzi with 2 outs and a runner at first. Fly to right, first time up.
What an opportunity for Matt to pitch in this game where it's important on a personal level and team level for Wainwright. He caught Wainwright, did a very good job the other night. But I think these are the kind of starts that maybe add a little bit more to what a young player can take away from.
Pagnazzi in the air to center field. Bird back, looks up, and it's off the wall. Feliz being waved in. Pagnazzi has himself an RBI double. Matt Pagnazzi gets his first major league RBI.
That's it. And back to your point, Jimmy, I think that's a very good point. And Pagnazzi caught yesterday. Probably if it wasn't Wainwright going for 20, maybe we would have seen Anderson. But he's noted as more of a handler of pitchers, a defensive guy. So he gets a start, hit the ball well to right field the first time. Now he gets one over the head of Bird, gets his first RBI in the big leagues, and has got a double. So why not go have a good all-around game?
And to me, the fact that Pagnazzi's behind the plate and you don't notice a rookie is back there is a sign that he's doing pretty well.
Here's Brendan Ryan, doubled his first time up. And still no activity in the Cubs bullpen. 6-1 St. Louis.
I know Yachty's back at home. We're really wishing he could be back there handling it, but it's not the case. We want that need to get well, but it gives you an opportunity to find out, do the Cardinals right now, carrying 3 catchers, Hildwett called up today, do they have the backup, the replacement, for Jason LaRue, who's announced his retirement?
1-1 the count.
And the call with Yachty, similar, that the Card's just trying to be cautious with his knee. He's been playing through a lot of pain, so we're going to let him rest.
Started more games than any catcher in the big leagues this year.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Pagnazzi, Uncle Tom, back in 91-92, Uncle Tom Pagnazzi had caught the most innings of any catcher, and Molina's done that back-to-back seasons, and I'm sure Uncle Tom Pagnazzi is very proud of Matt with his first RBI. As the Cardinals take on the Rockies, you can support an amazing cause during Breast Cancer Awareness Month. 25,000 fans ages 16 and older receive a breast cancer awareness tote bag courtesy of Fuse and Schnucks. For more information, visit cardinals.com/promotions. 5-run lead for Wainwright as we move to the bottom of the third here at Wrigley Field in Chicago. Wainwright will get the top of the order. Fold, Castro, and Bird. Another long year for Ron Santo.
These Cubbies are going to kill him.
Pat Hughes there on the left.
Talk to Ronnie all the time, and he lives and dies with his Cubbies. And he just, if they don't win, it kills him, and if they ever did win, he'd probably die of a heart attack on the spot.
Here's a ground ball to second. One away. Fold retired. We hope to visit with the Commissioner of Baseball, Bud Selig. In the booth to our right, we're going to try to grab before his day is through. I know you'd rather visit with Jim, Al. I'm sorry.
Yes, I would.
Well, thank you, Al.
Starlin Castro, their outstanding young shortstop, digs in. Cubs have used a bunch of rookies this year. 18 rookies this season. The most the club has used since 19 appeared in 2000. And of the 18, 11 have made their big league debut this season.
Speaking of debuts,
off the glove of Feliz. Ryan throws to first. Not in time.
Castro made quite a splash when he made his major league debut in Cincinnati. First at bat, a 3-run home run. Later, a bases loaded triple. He had 6 RBIs. Here he shoots this ball down to third. So they sure-handed Feliz. Can't handle it. Nice, nifty play, but Castro really runs well and legs it out.
Here's Marlon Bird. Flew out to center. First time up. All-star this year. And Bird came in hitting .292.
Yeah, All-star this year, but he's had a tough second half. Under .260. And commenting how really tough here at first year, trying to adjust. All the day games kind of wore him out. Wow.
0-2.
He did not look comfortable in those last 2 swings, and well off the plate, swinging. Good pitch. Inside, right off the hands right there. And you just put you a couple breaking balls away from him, try and reach for it, and bust him inside. And see if they doesn't want the changeup. Probably go back there. There's curveball again.
1-2 pitch. Ooh, that caught him in the face.
Had the glasses on, that might have helped out or complicated it, but appears to be okay. And off balance once again, had his upper body out over the plate, and when it hit in the dirt, bounced up, hit him right in the face. Knocked the glasses off. Breaking ball. See him reaching. Look at that swing. Says he's okay.
The Cubs first signed him. A lot of people made it to be a situation where he replaces Milton Bradley, and he quickly diffused that in the media, saying Milton Bradley's my friend. He's on to a different situation. I've come to a different situation, and the comparisons need to stop. Talking about how Bird's a very good guy, and Bradley may be a guy that you wouldn't look to as a leader on your team. Check swing, and he strikes out. Did not look comfortable at all.
Weak at bat.
So 3 strikeouts for Wainwright. Catch all the action of the 2010 Major League Baseball postseason on Fox and TBS. Begins October 6th. The division series on TBS. It'll be the National League leading 34th start of the season and 5th against the Cubs tomorrow for Chris Carpenter, who is 15-8.
Chris Carpenter says he feels at this point as fresh and as healthy as he has in a long time. he said he never would have believed at spring training that he would have gotten through the season unscathed in terms of minor ailments along the way. And I asked him, I said, at this point in your career, 35, do you stop and kind of take it all in a little bit more? And he said, well, usually, he said, at this point I would meet with the family. All right, how's it going? What do we? He said, at this point he feels so good, he doesn't even feel like he's approaching the twilight.
That's good to hear. Here's the 0-1 pitch. He told me that he doesn't even pick up a baseball basically until about the middle of January. Just picks up a baseball, starts to play catch, and that's when he'll begin his off-season preparation as far as throwing. Keeps himself in great shape, but just that's the way he's always approached it. Two balls and a strike. Here's a look at the shiner there underneath the eye of Marlon Byrd. Wonder if he'll stay in the game. 2-1 pitch. Popped up right side and out of play.
One thing that Carpenter really wants is 20 for that young man on the mound, Wainwright. Those two guys are very close. No one's pulling more for Wainwright to get 20 than Carpenter.
2-2 the count. So close last year, and they know what it means to him this year. Carpenter, by the way, 1-2 in 4 starts against the Cubs this season. Ramirez strikes out on the breaking ball. Carpenter will go tomorrow. Wainwright today, and he picks up his 4th strikeout. 6-1 after 3. Adam Wainwright will lead it off, top of the 4th. 6-1 St. Louis. Kosuke Fukudome is into the ball game in right field, so he is in. Byrd is out. They made some changes out there in left and center. At least they shift guys.
Yeah, Fold went from left to center, and is that Snyder went to over to left.
So Fukudome is in Byrd's spot. Here's Wainwright, who doubled. First time up, picked up an RBI. And we have been told we'll visit with the commissioner in the bottom of the 4th.
Wainwright got a little taste of his own curveball as he was off balance swinging at an inside curve.
And a strikeout for Gorzolani. That's his 4th strikeout. Tomorrow on Fox Sports Midwest, college football triple header. Kansas State hosts Central Florida at 11:30. That game can be seen on an alternate Fox Sports Midwest channel. We'll have baseball for you. Just go to foxsportsmidwest.com for channel listings. Then at 6, Missouri Valley action. Missouri State at Illinois State. And football Saturday capped off with Oregon and Arizona State at 9:30. Aaron Miles 0 for 2. Grounded to second, also flied out to center. On 0-2, it's a base hit into center field. Miles went down to get it. Cardinals with 7 base hits today. Jose Oquendo catches for 1 inning during a 14-1 loss to the Mets, playing in all 9 positions in that season back in 1988. Our Schnooks this date in history.
Then games produced by Bud Sports, and I remember we had a real interesting and really a funny little tape where they had Jose pitching because he played all positions that year. So he had him pitching to himself, catching to himself, hitting, hit a ball to third, which he fielded, threw over to first, where he was at first, but did it at every different position. And I mean, it was really cleverly done, and the secret weapon was really so versatile. And now he has really developed into an outstanding, and many believe the best infield instructor in the game today. And we didn't talk about this, but I know when he was, I heard some rumors when we were in Pittsburgh that he would be considered potentially as a manager in Pittsburgh, and I'm sure he'll get more consideration this offseason.
The Latin influence of players in Major League Baseball, he is perfect for that. They really respect him, and he's able to bring in everybody together. He's done that with this team.
But he's he's not only is he a good instructor, but he's got that good discipline too. Where he stays right on guys, and is so well respected. They listen to him and they adhere to his advice. And when they need to get on somebody, he can do that too.
Runners at first and second. Right-hander now getting loose for the Cubs in their bullpen. That's 4 walks issued by Tom Gorzelani. Pujols has walked twice, Holiday once, now Rasmus. First pitch to Albert, taken for a strike.
Well, it's a tough walk to Kobe in front of Albert. Kobe had struck out twice, did not look very comfortable, and then now to put 2 runners on for Albert, we're just asking for more trouble.
1 ball, 1 strike. Game time temperature at 61 degrees, a cool afternoon and a windy day here in Chicago. One pitch.
Lonnie is about 1 pitch from leaving this game. Maybe 2.
Three and 1. This crowd a little bit restless too. Gorzelani, since the end of May, has been much better than the beginning of his season began.
Just a shade over 5 innings per start.
And he walks Pujols for the 3rd time, and the bases loaded. That's 5 walks in the game. Hill, a long walk from behind home plate to stall for time. Let the righty get loose.
And they gave up 13 runs yesterday, being beat 13-0. So been a lot of clobbering done with that bullpen recently. They've given up a whole bunch. Rookie relief appearances with 5+ more runs allowed this year. The Cubs have the most in the majors with 9.
I don't know about you. I'm surprised he's still in the game.
I am too, but and he's not.
Yeah. With the 3 walks today, Pujols is closing in on 100 walks. He's now at 95. We'll step aside. That'll be it for Gorzelani. The righty Berg has been getting loose, and it's our Chevy called to the pen. Justin Berg to face Holiday when we come back. Justin Berg made his major league debut in 2009, now in his 5th full season with the Cubs. Came over from the Yankees in the Matt Lawton deal in 2005. 1 out, bases loaded. Miles reached on an 0-2 pitch. Walked to Colby Rasmus. Walked to Albert Pujols. And Matt Holliday will be the hitter who extended his hitting streak to 16 games first time up. Look at his numbers with the bases loaded in his career.
Berg has retired the first batter faced 29 of his 38 outings. He has allowed 9 of his last 15 inherited runners to score. Did pitch in last night's ball game also.
1 ball, 1 strike. Gorzelani with 5 walks. Can't do that. Stick around very long in a ball game.
And 7 hits too. So ton of base runners, and he's responsible for all 3 out there right now.
Line inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. John Jay has moved to the on-deck circle. Be a pinch hitter for Alan Craig if Holiday can extend it to him. 2-2. Playing him away. And they're trying to pitch him away too.
It just may not be deep enough.
2-2 pitch to Holiday.
Getting in on the hands there, a couple pitches, so it's working in and out in the count. One thing you don't see that often today is guys repeat location. You know, after one pitch inside, you don't see them go back inside. A lot of times it's just so simple, go back away.
And a strikeout of Holiday. Turn to the trivia question presented by AT&T with the bases loaded, 2 down. And John Jay, the hitter, his last 20-game winner for the Cubs. John Lieber, 20-6 in 2001.
I don't think I ever would have gotten that one.
I thought maybe Maddox, maybe Zambrano. First pitch to John Jay is taken for a ball. So Alan Craig makes the start. Hits a 3-run homer in the first. 4-6-3 double play in the third. Now lifted here in the fourth.
John Jay was right at 300, and then he got a couple hits late yesterday. Up to 303.
And the count, 2 balls, no strikes. Three and 0. Berg steps off the mound, collects himself.
Bases loaded, 3-0. Boy, just look for. If you aren't taken, just look for something you can drive. Second fastball away.
And he walks Jay. 7-1 Cardinals. RBI for John Jay. Miles scores 7-1 St. Louis.
That's how you pick up a 27th RBI.
The Cardinals have been given 6 walks today.
High five for Miles, who hit Gorzelani well. That's why he was in the lineup.
Here's Pedro Feliz. 1 for 2.
Like it was supposed to be a slider, but really got underneath it and just really didn't do much at all. Fastball. See the sink to it, but
Lees pops it up. Out of play. You're not in the sun and in the shade. It is chilly. 1-2 pitch. Feliz reaching for it. Fly ball right field. Fukudome makes the catch. Cardinals strand the bases loaded, but they pick up another run. It's 7-1 midway through 4. Scotch products keep your lawn lush and green. Visit Lowe's for a chance to win a VIP World Series experience. Compliments of Scott's. Wainwright trying to become a 20-game winner here this afternoon. Bottom of the 4th, and it's 7-1. Always fun here at Wrigley Field. The Cardinals and the Cubs are one of the great rivalries in all of sports. 1 ball, 1 strike on Nady, who grounded out to short his first time up. Wainwright is allowed 3 base hits. One of those a home run by Aramis Ramirez. One ball and 2 strikes. And got him to chase on the breaking ball. And Wainwright has struck out 5 here this afternoon. Dan McLaughlin here, and we have the chance to visit with the Commissioner of Major League Baseball, Commissioner Bud Selig, and always nice to see you. How are you, sir?
Yeah, nice to see you. Pleasure.
Well, Commissioner, first and foremost, let's start with this. You've got Tampa Bay. Looks like they're headed to postseason play. Cincinnati,
You bet.
Unfortunately.
Well, I understand that.
And you're looking at small market teams that are headed to
San Diego, maybe.
Yes.
And Colorado. And,
Minnesota.
Minnesota. And Texas, even to a lesser degree.
So parity is working.
It's working. It's not only working, but it's working better than we've ever had it. That's what's so good.
Did the teams, did they call you up and say, all right, Commissioner, I feel that this is working for us, the smaller market teams? Do they agree with what's happening right now?
They do. They do. I think everybody understands. We have more what I call competitive balance. Pete Rozelle used to call it parity, but it's the same thing than we've ever had.
I want to ask you, too, I know there's been talk about maybe a second wild card. Would you be in favor of that?
I originally thought I was. We're willing to consider it, but it needs more study. Look, I love the wild card. You remember the abuse that I took when we went to the wild card.
It's pretty rough.
Oh, it was rough. And now, of course, everybody loves it, and nobody was against it. But we'll consider it. We're going to look at it this winter.
Is the wild card, as you look at your tenure as Commissioner of Baseball, which has been very, very successful, is that the one thing that you're most proud of?
It is one of them. I think the economic overhaul of the game is the thing I'll always be most proud of, but the wild card is right in there.
There's a base hit out to left center off the bat of Brad Snyder. 2-out hit. And the Cubs trailing in this ball game 7-1. Bud Selig is with us, the Commissioner of Baseball. What else comes to mind when you look at your tenure?
Economic overhaul, labor peace of 16 years.
That's got to be shocking to have labor peace. Nobody
who lived through 8 work stoppages in a 22-year period could have ever believed that we were going to have this kind of labor peace. It's been spectacular.
How do you feel about the current agreement, where it stands, and what may happen?
Well, we're going to negotiate next year, but I have faith in our negotiator, Rob Manfred, and the unions, Michael Weiner. I think we have a constructive relationship. We'll have our differences, but I think they can be worked out.
I want to ask you, too, about international expansion. Is that something that you're looking at?
That's my big goal in the next 2.5 years.
So that's what you want to do before
You bet. You bet, before I leave. You bet. The sport is so good. It's never been this popular. And we've done so well. But there's so much demand around the world, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So your question is right on the front.
Well, when you ask that and you say that, where is it internationally? Where can you go?
Well, we're big in Japan and Korea. We've opened an office in China. There's huge potential there. We're big in Latin America. There's a lot of interest in Europe now. So we have all kinds of things that we can really do.
Tell me what it's like for you going into St. Louis.
Oh, I love St. Louis. I often said, I was born and raised in Milwaukee, and Milwaukee and St. Louis are so similar. And I remember all the great rivalry of the Braves and the Cardinals. And I say this, Dan, when I go to Boston, I can't say it everywhere. It's a great market here and a lot of good, but there's something about baseball in St. Louis that is just absolutely tremendous.
How often do you talk to Stan the Man?
Well, I saw him at the All-Star game last year, and that was great. And I love Red Schoendienst, who came to Milwaukee in '57 and '58, and actually won 2 pennants in the World Championship for the Braves. And you know, the thing that makes the Cardinals such a great franchise is their unbelievable tradition, and Musial and Schoendienst manifest that.
Can I put you on the spot and have you stay for just a little bit longer?
I'll stay for a little bit longer.
Just a little bit longer.
Okay.
Because it's special for our fans to hear the Commissioner of Baseball. Bud Selig is with us. 7-1 St. Louis after 4. Bud Selig is with us, the Commissioner of Baseball, and the Cardinals have a lead of 7-1. Gotten into a lot of issues very quickly here with the Commissioner, and I know your time is limited as you get a look at Adam Wainwright trying to go for win number 20. On a personal level, you just had a statue erected of yourself. Now, what is that like in the process of seeing yourself with a statue?
It was amazing. It was just stunning. My wife and daughters all said that for a couple of weeks before, they'd never seen me like that. Very introspective, and it was incredibly emotional, and obviously I was very grateful, and sort of shocking when you walk around and you look at it and you see a statue of yourself.
Oh, I was about to ask you that. That's got to be one of the craziest things to
It
have
is.
happen.
There's no way to tell you any other way. No question about it.
And a final question, just overall, because I know you got to go, but overall the health of the game. How do you like where your game is right now?
Never been more popular. This sport is more popular today than ever. We're going to draw 73 million people this year. In the worst economic downturn since the Great Depression. I mean, the grand old game in every way is showing more popularity than it ever has. And, you know, you look back, we talk about tradition, and if I were to show you attendance figures of 30 and 40 years ago and what they are today, these are amazing. So the game is more popular than ever, and I'm really pleased.
Can I ask you one final question? Because I keep on coming up with questions.
Okay, all right.
So I'm going to put you on the spot, Commissioner.
Yeah, that's all right.
I've
been there before.
I'm sure you have. Are you officially going to retire?
I am. I have every.
Everybody says he's not going to retire.
They all say that, and I understand that. But I have a lot of plans, and at the end of 2000, that's what I plan to do.
Great seeing you. Thank you so much.
Nice to see you. Great to talk to you.
Pleasure. Thank you very much. The Commissioner of Baseball, Bud Selig. And that's a foul ball off the bat of Brendan Ryan. Well, a treat to visit with the Commissioner. 7-1 Cardinals as we play here in the top of the 5th. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Shadows, of course, day baseball can come into play before the day is through. That will happen with our home plate area here at Wrigley Field. And that's a base hit into center field. So Brendan Ryan, his second base hit. 2 for 3 on the afternoon. And the batter will be Adam Wainwright. Wind blowing out, but at this ballpark, as Al has rejoined us, might be a situation here where you have to bunt. No lead is safe.
I will agree. Even though if Wainwright and his ability to help his own cause swinging the bat, you never go wrong with him.
And there's a strike. That one caught our catcher Hill. He shook up just a little bit. You know, Tony La Russa, here you are trying to go for win number 20 for Wainwright. Last year, only 6 innings. He leaves with a 6-run lead.
I've already thought about that. You know, that it might be a heavy discussion that Adam's going to keep his pitch count down. So we're just.
It's in your hands.
Yeah, it's like, Adam, it's your game to finish. Start and finish.
I'm in agreement with you, and we were talking about this, how Halladay, because of the Phillies and where they're at in the standings and going to the postseason, probably is the front runner, and he's at 20 wins. But Wainwright, what if you get one more win than Halladay?
Oh, I think right now he's like second in everything, but within striking distance.
Exactly. And Wainwright, strong swing, and he's all right. What's on tap? Chris Carpenter tomorrow, presented by Budweiser, with 2 outs now, runner at first. We'll see Coleman, who's 2-2, ERA over 5, and that's a look at our Budweiser what's on tap.
And I'm going back to it, Dan, and I'm going to say he's second in all these things where Halladay is first, but he's tied for second in wins, second in ERA, second in complete games, second in innings pitched, fourth in strikeouts, tied for second in shutouts, tied for first in quality starts, and tied for first with Carpenter.
There's a strike to Aaron Miles. Roy Halladay have a chance at 21, maybe 22 wins. They've got now a 3-headed monster that'll come at you in the playoffs. Cole Hamels and Roy Oswalt. Roy Oswalt is dealing like he was 5 years ago.
A lot of people said right before the trade deadline, they said Oswalt's not the same pitcher that you saw several years ago. Well, yeah, he's not the same. He's better.
Yeah, he is right now. Well, you know, he's back in a pennant race. He's energized.
I mean, just knowing that you have a pretty explosive offense, that you go out there, that you're going to get the run support, just relax going out there, just do your job, and your teammates will do theirs, and put you in line for a win.
2 balls and 1 strike here on Miles.
Remember at the trade deadline, there was an awful lot of talk that the Cardinals were the front runners in getting Oswalt. I never bought into that. I could not conceive of a package the Cardinals could put together that was going to be better than what they ultimately got from Philadelphia. I don't know. I mean, remember they got Happ.
Runner goes, bouncer to second. They wanted a major league caliber ready pitcher.
Yeah, they didn't have that available.
Wainwright and the Cardinals here at Wrigley, 7-1 St. Louis. 6 is a serious number. When the Cardinals score 6, you get a 20-ounce coffee, fountain, or frozen drink for just $0.25. The next day at On the Run at Mobile. Win or lose, Cardinals score 6. You score 25-cent drink set On the Run. That's what we have here today. So a 7-1 St. Louis lead.
Pinch hitter Barney. He got a little playing time and hit well against Wainwright in St. Louis when Castro was out.
Castro actually collided with Brett Wallace a couple of weeks ago. Had a sore hip and didn't play in that series. There's another breaking ball. Your thoughts on Wainwright so far? Cool afternoon and the wind blowing out here at Wrigley.
He's going to win his 20th game. I mean, there's no way he is going to buckle.
1 hop to short. 1 away.
He handled it very well last year when he lost the opportunity in his final start. He did his job. The bullpen didn't do theirs, and not picking on them. That happens, but he didn't point any fingers. He took it like a man. 119 last year. He's won 19 already this year. You look over a 2-year body of work. He obviously has been spectacular, but
just watching him here today and his motion,
very easy,
very free and easy.
Yeah, I mean, very, just not really exerting much. So I think he's, in his mind, he's saying, I'm going to be prepared to go 9 innings in this game, and that would help, pad the resume, getting another complete game. Have the ERA go down. Halladay is 3rd in the National League in ERA behind Wainwright, who was 2nd. Josh Johnson, who's through for a year, through for the year, is leading. Halladay has one more win than Wainwright and Jimenez. Halladay has 8 complete games. Wainwright has 5.
A changeup that time.
Halladay is leading in strikeouts, but not that far ahead of Adam, who came in 4th place. But with his 6 strikeouts today, he's 1 below Halladay, 212 to 213.
So he's right there in just about every category.
Halladay has 3 shutouts. Adam has 2. Well, you can see, I mean, it's
Called 3rd strike. And Adam Wainwright picks up another one.
tied now for the strikeout lead with Halladay. Cutter off the plate, but called the strike for number 7.
So a career high for Wainwright in strikeouts. Liner caught by Pujols. Wainwright is through 5. 6-run lead. Seven to 1 St. Louis leading Chicago, top of the 6th. Easier than ever to find tickets. All you have to do is go to StubHub.com all season long. It's the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the St. Louis Cardinals. StubHub.com. And a new pitcher is in, the lefty for Chicago.
Scott Maine, who was recalled August 24th. He 4-2, 10 saves, 3.14 ERA, and 45 relief appearances for Double-A Tennessee and Triple-A Iowa. He's yet to allow an earned run to score in 5 outings here at Wrigley Field.
Maine is in the 2nd spot in their lineup.
He was originally selected by Arizona in the 6th round in the 2007 draft, acquired by Chicago, along with another minor league infielder, Ryan White, for Aaron Heidelman.
Oh, and 2.
Doodle is stretching down there.
On the outside corner, strikeout of Colby Rasmus. 3rd time he has struck out today. Barney, by the way, stays in the game at shortstop after pinch hitting in the bottom of the 5th.
These clubs are really painting the outside part of the plate, whether it's a fastball or breaking ball. Really working Colby over, and he has 3 strikeouts.
And here is Pujols, walked 3 times. Breaking ball and a strike. the knees. Low strike to Albert. 1-2. Wind is picked up again. Check swing, and he went. Pujols strikes out. Joe West, 32-year veteran, rings him up. Every Friday during football season, we go off the field with the St. Louis Rams. It's Rams All Access. And this week, we take a trip to the International Welcome School to watch the Rams players introduce football to students. Catch Rams All Access tonight at 6, only on Fox Sports Midwest.
Yeah, and how'd you know Joe West has been around for 32 years?
Exceptional bio on Joe West that just keeps on giving.
Has his own publicist. How many movies you think the Singing Cowboy's been in? How many albums you think the Cowboys recorded?
Let's say 3 albums. I'll say 4 movies.
Naked Gun, Police Squad, The Oldest Rookie, guest appearances on American Nightly Scoreboard, Best Damn Sports Show, period. So it looked like 3 movies, couple. I think it's only 2 albums. Soon to be 3.
2-out walk, and it brings in John Jay. Walked with the bases loaded back in the 4th to make it 7-1.
Oh yeah, you don't know about his football background. What a
Quite
great
the
golfer
QB,
he
wasn't
is. Oh yes, he was played college football. Well, he was at East Carolina. He was a safety on the freshman team, and then a 3-year starting quarterback at Elon College, now Elon University. 4,337 yards passing, 35 touchdowns. He's the MVP of the 1973 team. What else do we want to know about? He has his own line of umpiring gear that's sanctioned by Major League Baseball. Serves as president of the World Umpires Association, which recently agreed to a 5-year pact with Major League Baseball through December 2014. Labor peace for the umpires.
On the outside corner, Jay strikes out. Cardinals baseball brought to you by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. And by Lumiere Casino. Play $100 on the house. Just visit Lumiere Place or River City Casinos and sign up a My Choice card. They will reimburse your losses up to $100 for just trying them out. In Chicago, Wrigley Field, Wainwright looking for number 20 today. Kosuke Fukudome in a 7-1 Cardinals lead here in the bottom of the 6th. Two and 1. Fukudome, after Marlon Byrd was hurt, took over in right field. And they shifted the outfield.
Joe West's 2 albums, in case you want to know, is entitled Blue Cowboy and Diamond Rings.
3-1 popped up. Wynn playing tricks on this. Pujols makes the catch. 1 away. Here is today's in-game box score presented by Mass Mutual. Miles 1 for 4. And a lot of the damage done in the bottom of this order with Feliz and Pagnazzi. Brendan Ryan, Wainwright helped his own cause. Pujols 2 runs scored.
Of course, you see John Jay, but you don't see Alan Craig. He got things started with a 3-run home run back in the first inning, and then Jay pinch hit for him in the 4th. So a good day for the Cardinals, and only a Ramirez solo home run blemish against Wainwright.
You notice the breaking ball here today. It's been one that it's floating in there, and we haven't really seen that all that much from Wainwright. He's been throwing in the high 80s, really hasn't been exerting himself with the fastball.
I just think he's when he got the early lead, he's prepared to go deep into this ball game, so he's just trying to. He hadn't been in any kind of trouble, so he kind of just flipping the ball up there, trying to stay ahead in the count. Fastball away.
And a liner down the right field line. That'll get down for a base hit. Jay over to get it. And it's a double for Ramirez.
Ramirez in this lineup has done some damage against Adam in the past, and he's got 2 for 3 strikeout. That was supposed to be a fastball away, and it kind of tailed back in the middle of the plate, up a little bit, and kind of ran in on the inner part of the bat, kind of jammed me a little bit and dumps it into right. Nady 0 for 2. He was 8 for 20 coming in against Adam.
And a big swing and a miss. Nady, an ex-Pirate, along with Jason Bay. Up the middle, base hit. They're going to hold up Ramirez.
He was 8 for 20 off of Adam, and finally breaks through here, his 3rd at bat. Aramis puts the head down. He'd been nursing a quad injury, and so they're not going to push it, especially run into an out when you're trailing 7-1. Rod Drake almost went out there, so we don't have to talk about him. He's only been in the show for 2 years. I can't wait to break out all the AIM material on Joe West tomorrow. Paul Bearer at 99.
A liner. Caught at second.
Nice Paul Bearer for Boxcar.
Here's Snyder, who has struck out in single.
Boxcar Willie.
Fly ball out to right. Jay back near the ivy and makes the catch. Keeps it 7-1.
Our U.S. Cellular text poll: who's had the most disappointing season? Cardinals win by a landslide, not one you want to win, 92 to 8% for the Cubs.
Our Hyundai Long Drive Inning, Emmanuel Crosby is today's merchandise winner in our Hyundai Long Drive Inning sweepstakes. If the Cardinals hit a home run, Emmanuel Crosby qualifies for the Hyundai Sonata drawing on September 30th. To see the all-new Hyundai Sonata, log on to mystlouishyundaidealers.com.
Second inning work for Maine. Struck out the side in the 6th inning. Just did have one walk. Mr. Holiday.
Backing up at short, Barney. Feliz retired.
Notice that Kyle McClellan warming up in the bullpen, and it looks like the high fives for Adams. So maybe Tony's not worried about a jinx. In line for his 20th victory, up to the bullpen to protect that 6-run lead that slipped away last season in his final start.
Now there was McClellan who had a big role.
I didn't want to say that.
In that bullpen disaster last year.
And you knew he took that very hard. Things happen that way, and Kyle was having an outstanding season, probably his worst game of the year, and it just came at the wrong time for Adam Wainwright.
Bagnazzi with his first RBI in the big leagues, back in the 3rd. And this will be our Hardy's prime cut of the game. Off the ivy in center field.
Over the head of Marlon Byrd. Does stay in the ballpark. You saw Giuliani just drop his head like he might have thought it was out of here, but off the base of the center field wall, and RBI double. Only 83 pitches, but Tony trying to preserve and make sure that he'll have a little more to try and get win number 21 in his next start. And then he could possibly pitch the final day of the season on a 3-day short rest. That would be to get number 22. He's wrapping up 20.
Inside corner and a strike to Bagnazzi. And the count is full. So just over 80 pitches and Wainwright through.
And as we said, it just never looked like he was any trouble. His last inning did give up 2 hits, but they didn't score. So the ERA drops.
Strike to first. And Bagnazzi retired. Good play by Maine.
He's been 25 years of age and out of the University of Miami. He's done his job, and looks like we'll have a double switch. And look at this. Pitcher gets over there, fields it, shoots it over there, and throws him out by a step and a half.
Micah Hoffpower coming in from the dugout, and he'll take over in left field with pitching change as well. Double switch, 7-1. Marcus Mateo, part of the double switch. He'll take over with 2 outs and nobody on, and Hoffpower takes over in left. The 7-1 Cardinal lead. Brendan Ryan has had a good day, pair of base hits.
Hoffpower up there left. He's been up and down the last couple of years.
Jody Davis will sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." He's coaching in the minor leagues, and his pitching coach is former Cardinal and Cub Jeff Facero. He's at the Class A affiliate of the Cubs, the Boise Hawks. Told that the Boise Hawks Class A affiliate televises every home game.
mentioned Brendan Ryan, a couple hits today, 2 for 3.
And a ground ball. Too short. They get him by a step. Time to stretch here at Wrigley. Navy Pier here in Chicago on a windy day, cool afternoon. Temperatures into 60s. 7-1 Redbirds. And a couple of switches for the Cardinals. Kyle McClellan takes over. He'll bat 5th in the lineup. And Randy Wynn moves to the pitcher spot in the lineup. And he'll bat 9th. How about you? I'm a little surprised that Wainwright at least doesn't go one more inning.
I am definitely surprised. Adam has averaged 7 innings per start this year, only 83 pitches. So, but I guess Tony just make sure the history doesn't repeat itself.
Holiday makes the catch. 1 away.
Set a new high with the strikeouts, and we hope, with the help of the bullpen, a new career high in wins, number 20 for Adam Wainwright.
Carpenter and Coleman tomorrow on the air at 11:30. One out, nobody on. Darwin Barney on the air, hitting .254, 0 for 1, grounded out back in the 5th.
Fire plug, you know, it's like a high energy type player, Barney.
1-1 pitch. Think about good years this season. Kyle McClellan has had an outstanding year coming in from the bullpen.
As all 3 years he's pitched for his home club. September 14th, Barney had his first Major League 3-hit game. It was against St. Louis.
And McClellan gets the first 2. Let's go pitch by pitch. Presented by Chevrolet.
Well, one thing we know, he doesn't have a lot of power, so you don't want to walk him. You want to attack the strike zone. Their fastball just runs in on him. Their fastball right there, he takes it. And their breaking ball, he just didn't get the handle on it, spun up there. And then just a fastball and nice little ground ball to the right side.
Right down the middle and a strike. Sam Fuld back to the top of the lineup for the Cubs. Fuld is struck out, grounded to second, and also flied out to left. High fly ball into right. Randy Wynn, who just checked in, battling the sun and the wind, and makes the catch. 1-2 inning for Kyle McClellan. 7-1 after 7. Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. With full flavor and a crisp, clean finish, it's what we do. By AT&T Mobility. Find out what's possible with the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Bank of America. Cardinals banking only at Bank of America. Wrigley Field in Chicago, 7-1 St. Louis. And Randy Wynn will have his first plate appearance of the afternoon. Took over in right. Made the final catch of the 7th inning. The shadows becoming a factor right near home plate. Second inning of work for Mateo.
It's part of the strategy and those shadows.
Two and 0. Cardinals have used 3 different right fielders today. And all have had a part of this offense except Wynn, his first plate appearance.
In a sense, we've used 4. Stavanoa was the original lineup, had Stavanoa out in right field, and then because of a tender knee, he was replaced by Alan Craig, who got things rolling with a 3-run home run in the first. John Jay, and now Randy Wynn.
John Jay had a bases loaded walk RBI. And Randy Wynn pulls it foul.
interesting that Randy Wynn, and not say a Schumacher or Joe Mather,
And Wynn hits a high fly ball out to center. Stays in the ballpark for the first out. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. One hop and a good play at second.
really was. Took a vicious bad hop. Almost hit Blake DeWitt in the face. Squared up to the ball, ahead a little bit, and holds on to it. Watch how this ball, right, the last hop, hit hard, and then wow. Stays with it, plays it to the side, it goes through for a base hit. And a little more squared up, he makes the out.
Tough day for Colby Rasmus. 2 outs, nobody on. The fly ball opposite field. Cardinals go in order here in the 8th. 7-1 St. Louis. Seven to 1 St. Louis. Cardinals about hit the Cubs 8-6. Second inning of work for Kyle McClellan. And a 1-2-3 first inning of work.
We'll get Hoffpauir, who went in as part of the double switch, his first plate appearance. He's had some good minor league numbers, but haven't translated here to the big leagues.
And the first pitch, start at the bottom of the 8th, is taken for a ball.
Hoffpauir, 30 years of age now, made his debut in the big leagues in 08.
Fly ball, left center, carrying. And caught by Holiday.
And I think I've told you that when Walt Alston was managing the Los Angeles Dodgers, and their AAA team at that time was Spokane in the Pacific Coast League, a very small ballpark. And you get all these guys coming up to the minor leagues. It almost was incredible the numbers they had. They all averaged 350, had 30 home runs, had 140 RBIs, and after several years of Walt Alston seeing these guys, he came up with a formula. He said, what they hit in AAA, I will subtract 100 points. And then I think I've got the type of hitter they are.
That much.
That much. And I was talking with, Rudy Jaramillo, and I was telling that story, and he right before I got 100 points, I said that, and he said, he said, I was just trying to think that, that there's that much difference now between the big leagues and AAA.
1 ball, 1 strike.
And he said, I've got guys that, and he mentioned Hoffpauir and stuff, that are hitting 280, 290 down there, and they come up here and they're under 200. Now, granted, it's not with a lot of at bats and not getting that extended period playing time, but
Fukudome hits it out of play. What about the difference from the guys that come over from Japan to play in the major leagues here? What do you look at with those stats as a, try to project what kind of player they could be in the major leagues?
It's hard because you look at Fukudome. He was an all-star his first year here. He hit over 300 down there. In Japan, they got much smaller ballparks. You don't have the power pitchers that you have here. And other than Suzuki, how many of them have really come here and really, can you say, have been legitimate impact type players?
Ichiro is been tremendous with 200 hit seasons, but outside of that,
that's what I meant. Suzuki Ichiro, and he just what was it? 10 straight seasons or something. He said over 200 hits.
10 straight. Sure, if he asked Boston folks, Daisuke Matsuzaka has not been what they thought.
No. Godzilla has been around and has done a lot.
Ramirez on an 0-2 pitch, fly ball to left. Holiday makes the catch. And McClellan 1 out away from having 2 scoreless frames following Wainwright.
And Franklin throwing in the bullpen just in case things get a little out of control.
Two outs and a runner at first. Xavier Nady. Good pitch. Got him to reach, a ground ball to second. And we head to the ninth. Good work by Kyle McClellan. 2 scoreless innings here at Wrigley. 7-1 as we head to the ninth.
Cardinals lead at 7-1 as we go to the ninth at Wrigley. Coming up after the game on the post-game edition of Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live. Pat Paris, Rick Horton back in the studio. Waino on the brink of winning his 20th. We'll get Tony La Russa's post-game thoughts as well. Plus, somebody's getting a hungo today. Alan Craig had the big 3-run homer, and we go back to the booth. And Dan and Al, guys.
Thank you, Jim. Alan Craig got it going, that 3-run homer on a 3-2 pitch in the first inning. And here is Pujols, who was walked 3 times and also called out on strikes.
James Russell appearing for the 55th time. ERA over 5. His father was a big league pitcher, Jeff. 10+ years in the big leagues. 3 walks, a couple runs scored, 1 strikeout for Albert.
1 ball, 1 strike.
It'll probably be over 100 walks by this series. The series is over.
One pitch. Ooh, big swing and a miss by Pujols.
Off-speed pitch. See how tough it is to hit that pitcher's in the bright sunlight, and as the pitch coming into you, it goes into the shadows, and you see it right at home plate. It's quite dark. Lights are on, but you really wouldn't know it right now.
2-2 the count. And Pujols picks up a base hit on a hanging breaking ball. San Francisco and Colorado play tonight. Big series there. Cincinnati at San Diego. Arroyo and Young in that series. New York at Philly. Atlanta is against Washington.
Holiday has extended his hitting streak to 16 games. He's got 2 walks also and 1 strikeout. Holiday tomorrow can tie his career high in hit streaks in 17. There's Stavanoa, who's at the on deck circle. He's got 15 pinch hits. Stavanoa
picked up his 15th 2 games ago against Pittsburgh on the first pitch, lined it off the wall. 2 balls and a strike. Two and two the count. Runner at first is Pujols. 7-1 Redbirds.
He's done all their scoring in the first 4 innings. Big gap out in left center, throwing a lot of breaking balls, and then you've got him playing around to hit the ball the opposite field. I think with the slow breaking balls from the left-hander, he'd pull the ball.
Slowly hit towards second. Out there, throw to second, and Pujols is out. Double play.
Blake DeWitt did it the right way. Came in to field that ball. Albert stopped, so you complete the throw to first base. And then you got Albert in a rundown. You run at him, doesn't want to get it. And you have to tag him. And you get the double play. See Blake DeWitt, well schooled. Knows what he's doing out there. Stavinoa mentioned 15 pinch hits, Dan, and I mean his average, which is tough to have a good average as a pinch hitter, and he's over 300, 306. He's tied for second in the National League with the pinch hits. There's 15. He's also has 2 pinch hit home runs this season, 3 in his career. He's going to get the start. Yesterday he started, had a couple hits the first 2 plate appearances, and then he has a bum knee. Franklin will come in and close this out for the Cardinals.
7-1 lead, and knowing what's at stake, Tony's not going to take any chances.
Right, not a safe situation by any means, but it's very important for all of Adams' teammates to be a part of his 20th victory.
2-1 pitch, 2-2. The other thing about Stavinoa, he doesn't get cheated.
No, he goes up there, and we've talked about it quite a bit, that every time you can really criticize a pinch hitter if you're taking pitches. So be aggressive.
He's got a sore knee, so did not start today. He does not look comfortable in the box right now after that last swing.
Well, yeah, he made that one swing, and it looked like, you know, he might have aggravated the knee. And, you know, in my mind, you know, Stavinoa has shown you that he's got a role in this ball club coming off the bench. Scalzo looks like he's got some energy. We'll see. He'll be starting tomorrow. But you know, you're not convinced whether he's going to be anything more than a utility player.
3-2 pitch. Stavinoa to short. Good play. Takes a hit away. He's limping just a bit near the Cardinal bullpen. Franklin coming in. It's 7-1. 7-1. And the bottom of the ninth is here in Chicago. Cardinals are 3 outs away from Adam Wainwright's 20th win of the season. And Wainwright, his day is through. He went 6 innings, gave up 6 hits, 1 run, 7 strikeouts. It was a 7-1 lead at that time, and he's our Budweiser player of the game. And Ryan Franklin, not a save situation, comes in to finish the game off.
Look at the amount of work he's gotten. Not getting much work at all. Is Sunday picked up his 25th save. Yeah, and I've looked. He's had 3 save opportunities this month. He's converted all 3. It took 2 weeks between saves 24 and 25. And there's a lot of happy guys in there when we get 3 more outs, and a lot of congratulations for Adam Wainwright. Carpenter spoke about that with our own Jim Hayes about how much it means to him and the teammates to see Adam pick up number 20.
There's Blake DeWitt. Skip Schumacher takes over in right field. So another right fielder. One ball, 1 strike. Phillies started play today, a 6-game lead over Atlanta. The Cardinals started 7.5 back of Cincinnati. Chicago 16.5 games out.
Cincy's magic number is 3. Cardinals just really want to finish strong enough and make sure they get over 500.
Right now at 4 games, could be 5. Popped up by DeWitt. Rasmus makes the catch in center field. 1 away. This is Bobby Scales, I believe, is a pinch hitter coming up.
And he's 32 years of age.
Switch hitter. And 1 for 6 with a pair of RBIs.
Scales is 32. In Iowa this year, he batted .268, 33 doubles, 3 triples, 10 home runs, 53 RBIs.
Remember, we saw him last year. He got some extended playing time, and he really pulled for him.
Yeah, he made his major league debut last year in his 11th professional campaign. And he hit .242 with the Cubs in 51 games.
1 ball, 1 strike.
3rd season in the Chicago after signing a minor league free agent contract in December of '07. Over 1,200 minor league games.
Two and 1. Over a decade riding buses in the minor leagues.
Oh yeah. Selected by San Diego in the 14th round of the '99 draft. .283 career minor league batting average with 77 homers, 507 RBIs.
Occasionally you'll see Franklin with his assortment of pitches go to a knuckleball.
When Yachty calls for it, he starts smiling. You know, it's just kind of the novelty, and if you're going to throw it, this would be the kind of game to throw it in.
2 and 2.
Franklin also has that good control, so you know he's usually, you fall behind the count a little bit, he can come back and get you out. Might have been that right there.
I think it was.
You almost got to take your shoes off when you got Franklin out there. He has so many pitches.
All the signs.
His fastball looked like splitter, back to the fastball. Ryan Franklin, second best save percentage, conversion percentage in the National League. Just unfortunately not that many opportunities for him this year. Fastball away.
Hits his spot, strikeout. 2 away. That's the thing about Franklin. It's that pinpoint control that you look at.
Well, that's why you know, he's not going to blow you away, but the combination of changing speeds. Didn't want the fastball in, didn't want the splitter. Fastball away and just paints it. Good control, relies on his defense.
Two outs And nobody on. Getting his spot again on the outside corner.
Everybody's got a little extra right now. I mean, you manufacture in your mind it's not a safe situation, but boy, you're going to save the 20th victory for one of your teammates.
Ground ball, this should do it. Pujols is there. Underhands to Franklin. The Cardinals have a win. Wainwright with his 20th victory of the 2010 season.
Only the 6th time in the last 25 years a Cardinal pitcher has won 20 games.
Congratulations to Adam Wainwright, his 20th win this afternoon. 7-1, our final post-game show coming up.
Game is over with a great milestone for Adam Wainwright, and the Cardinals take it 7-1 over the guys up in Chi-Town. Rick Horton and I standing by to break it all down on Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live. And Rick, last year at this time we were talking about Adam Wainwright not quite getting 20. Now he gets to 20.
Same situation. Cardinals had a big lead. The bullpen this time comes through. Kyle McClellan is outstanding along with Franklin in the 9th inning. But this game is all about Adam Wainwright being able to get to a very impressive plateau of 20 wins. Cardinals had just enough offense early on and took advantage of those opportunities to pave the way to victory number 20.
Certainly did. Much more from Rick coming up on Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live. Plus, the Redbirds roll into Wrigley looking to beat down the Baby Bears one last time this season. We'll break it all down on the game 1 of this 3-game set. Plus, Adam Wainwright did try for win number 20 on the season, and the workhorse does reach that milestone. We'll take you back to the north side as well for plenty of player reaction and get you Tony La Russa's post-game thoughts as well. Plus, someone's going home with the penultimate Hungo of the Year award. Happy birthday to Shel Silverstein, more generous than the giving tree. Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live coming up next.
Welcome to Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live.
A couple of tries at it last year, but Adam Wainwright wasn't able to accomplish win number 20. Today, he gets that elusive win number 20 as he takes care of the Chicago Cubs. Rick, he was very good today.
And that's a big deal. 20 wins, that's like winning a batting title. It's like being an all-star. I mean, that's a very impressive day and a very impressive year for Wainwright.
It certainly is, and well, he'll go down as one of the greats now that he's a 20-game winner for the St. Louis Cardinals. Hello, everybody, and welcome inside our Fox Sports Midwest studio. It's the matinee edition of Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live. He's Rick Horton. I'm Pat Paris. Coming up, we're going to get you back to Wrigley Field. Tony La Russa's post-game comments, plenty of reaction as well. We're going to break down Waino's quest for 20 wins, and somebody's going to be taking home a Hungo Award. But before we get to all that, Rick, Cardinals not going to make the postseason, but there are certainly guys with some things to accomplish, and one of them is right now Adam Wainwright and his bid to be a Cy Young winner.
We had a couple of big moments yesterday. We had Albert Pujols hitting home run number 40, then 41. You had Matt Holliday driving in his 100th run of the year, which is a big deal. And now you've got Wainwright winning 20 games. A little bittersweet to some Cardinal fans, I might imagine, as you start thinking about these individual performances in light of the Cardinals really having one of the worst records, if not the worst record in baseball over the last 4 weeks. But the point is, you still got to keep playing the games, and these guys can still celebrate what really are outstanding seasons, even though it didn't all come together for them.
And it's part of that head scratching that's going on. How can you have such great individual awards and not add up to those team victories? More from the lefty Rick Horton coming up. But let's start things off right back at Wrigley Field. Jim Hayes catching up a short time ago with Alan Craig, our Mid-America Chevrolet Dealers Player of the Game. Cat?
Alan Craig, a big 3-run homer to get the Cardinals on the board. You didn't even know you were going to start until just before game time, right?
Yeah, right when I was about to hit during batting practice, Tony told me I was going to be starting. And I was pumped to get out there and start my first game at Wrigley Field. It was a lot of fun.
Tell me about the pitch you got. It was something up that you could handle, right?
Yeah, I think it was a 3-2 cutter in, and I got just enough of the barrel to get it out.
I know you guys are all happy for Adam Wainwright winning his 20th. The fact that your home run played a key part in helping the Cardinals jump out to a lead, you got to feel good about that.
Yeah, I feel great. It's awesome. I'm glad I could help Waino get his 20th. It's a big accomplishment for him. It's awesome.
And for you, when you come out here and you see the wind blowing out, are you just trying to get the ball into the airstream, or do you not really pay attention to that?
I definitely wasn't trying to get it in the air. I was trying to, stick with my approach, drive it to right center, but he threw it in, and it took my hands just enough to get it out there.
Well, it worked. Thanks for the time. Congratulations.
All right, thanks.
Alan Craig, send it back to you.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. And it was important for for Alan Craig and the Cardinals to get Adam Wainwright the lead, a lead they never relinquished. Let's get back to Wrigley Field, up to the broadcast booth next to Lake Michigan. Dan McLaughlin and Auerbosky rejoin us now to help put a wrap on a very special day, guys.
Well, it certainly was. Big day for Adam Wainwright. Of course, we talked about it. The fact that he tried to get number 20 last year came up short, but not today.
Not today, and bullpen holds on for him, but Adam had a nice outing. He just made one bad pitch to Ramirez. He struck and he hit a home run, but he had 7 strikeouts. Sets a new career high in strikeouts with 213, and he picks up another RBI, number 6. That made it 4-0 for the Cardinals. And when Adam gets 4 runs of support, he is 19-0 this year.
We'll have the Hungo Award coming up later in the show. Pat, let's send it back to you.
All right, guys, thank you very much. We're going to head to the highlights now and start out right away in that first inning for the Cardinals. Matt Holliday up after an Albert Pujols walk, and Holliday makes him pay, singles to right, and that extends Holliday's hitting streak to 16 games, one shy of his career high. Next guy up is Alan Craig, our Chevrolet Dealers player of the game, and there it is, 7th pitch at the at-bat, just gets it over the wall in left. And third of the year for him, first since August 22nd, gives the Redbirds a 3-0 lead. The Cards would add to that lead in the second. Adam Wainwright up after a Brendan Ryan double, and Waino, well, we're legally obligated to say he helps his own cause, and he does it here, Rick.
Is that all you say? That is the word, isn't it? You help your own cause. You know, it's the Cardinal cause. It's our cause. It's not his cause, although he did have a big reason today to win this game, winning number 20. But by the way, back to Alan Craig. The bandwagon's getting crowded again.
It is, with all those guys, not necessarily young, but with limited experience. There's Aramis Ramirez, the one mistake that Wainwright did not get away with.
Not that bad a pitch.
No,
down middle of the plate.
For whatever reason, Ramirez owns him. 24th long ball season for him. But then look at this, Matt Pagnazzi. He almost goes yard in that gale force win out to center. Drives in his first RBI of his career. So congratulations to another Pags.
Well, the other Pags couldn't go deep to center either. Didn't have enough power to do that. And yes, I said it, Tom.
That's okay. He understands. Plenty of Adam Wainwright from that point on, in search of win number 20. And besides the home run to Aramis Ramirez, he really only got in trouble a little bit in that second inning with a one-out double and then a single, but no more damage done. So he goes 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, walks 1, strikes out 7. It all adds up to another Adam Wainwright-like performance.
Well, in that little group of pitches, we saw all 4 of his pitches, and all of them worked very well today. Good job by Matt Pagnazzi behind the plate to kind of mix up those pitches. And of course, Wainwright, I thought Dan and Al were all over the fact that he just seemed so relaxed. Now, he was focused, but he was relaxed throughout the day. And you look at the offense that he got from Craig and Pujols in particular today, and enough offense. Cardinals with just 9 hits, Pat, but a lot of walks from Gorzolani led to some of those big runs early.
That's a great point. And the whole point of him being relaxed, too, and it's not to say that he wasn't, like you said, focused,
right.
But it's almost like he and Chris Carpenter, during this stretch now, that now Wainwright's kind of gotten out of it, 2 great starts in a row, but before that, it's almost like they were putting so much pressure on themselves to help this team stay in the playoff hunt that it was too much even for great aces to handle.
Well, there's the pressure of how important the game is to your team, but there's also the pressure of if you do not feel right in your mechanics, you're going to pitch under stress. If you feel like you're staying back a little too much, you're getting a little bit too out in front, maybe leaning one way or the other, your arms aren't following through right, or you're not breaking your hands at the right time, that creates other issues with your lower body, upper body in terms of the mechanics, and you're off. And when you're off, you throw more pitches out of stretch. So pitch count becomes much more relevant in those situations than it does when you're throwing free and easy. I got the sense that Wainwright could throw all day with the way he was throwing today. It wasn't that he wasn't efforting to throw to get people out to throw hard, but you get into that kind of 90% range where it's a 90% effort and it's smooth and the ball actually comes out faster than if you kind of grunt and throw it. And it's a lot like a golfer. You know, golfers know if you swing really hard, the ball doesn't go anywhere. There's that zone you get in that's the right speed, and that's where Wainwright was today.
And he is, without a doubt, winning number 20, our Helitech King of the Hill, and he was very, very good. really from the start, Rick, with the exception of the Ramos Ramirez home run.
Yeah, we didn't even have to vote for this king. This was obvious. Wainwright, 6 innings, although we did like the job that McClellan and Franklin as well did out of the bullpen. But just 1 walk today, very good control. Again, mixes pitches very well. The curveball was nasty, but he also threw a lot of changeups today that I think set the tone for his curveball to be good. Also had a cutter strikeout. Fastball was pretty good. There's the cutter strikeout I was talking about to the Darwinian Cub. But the point is, he was outstanding today. And guess what, Pat? Not the only Cardinal to win his 20th at Wrigley.
And these are some pretty impressive names. The 20-game winning club for the Cardinals is impressive. Dizzy Dean, Bob Gibson, you know, those kind of guys. But to do it at Wrigley Field, it's a small list of just 5 guys, including my favorite, Bob Gibson from my hometown, and your favorite from the 80s teams, one of your teammates, Joaquin Andujar.
Well, don't let Bob Gibson know that he's not my favorite. Don't say
I
that.
won't tell him.
But Joaquin was obviously a teammate and had a great year in '84. That was my rookie season, and I remember him winning 20 at Wrigley Field.
Right.
And, you know, he just was outstanding. For short periods of time, Joaquin Andujar was as good a pitcher as you could find in baseball for periods of time. He had a great first half one year, and I think he was 16 wins at the half. And, I mean, he could be nasty, a little bit of a live wire from time to time, but a great teammate.
Yeah, certainly, and some great stories shared over the years about him as well.
I got some I'll tell you during the break.
Yeah, we can't say them on the air necessarily. Let's talk more about what Adam Wainwright was able to do. You talked about that, about the changeup that kind of got him ahead in counts, but our Don Brown deal of the game talks and shows you the out pitches, the strikeout pitches. 6 of the 7 were curveballs.
And if we remember, that changeup was taught to Wainwright when he was at the All-Star game from Lincecum. He's got his Cy Young Award. We might as well teach him a changeup. But there's the curveball. How nasty is that? That ball is starting out about shoulder high, really, and ends up in the dirt. And here's another pitch. You think it's going to be belt high, and then all of a sudden it's not. I mean, you've got literally a 1/10 of a second to decide at that point. You see the pitch. Is it a fastball? Is it going to be in my eyes? Can I hit it? No, I can't. And so you've got to have great strength to stop the bat head, because you're trying to generate speed with that bat head. And so you've got to try to pick up spin on the ball and know that it's a curveball and then adjust to it. If you miss that spin or don't see it early enough, you're going to end up having a swing that looks a little bit like that. And that's not the kind of swing you want to make. You're not going to make contact. You're off balance, falling over. But pitch after pitch, very nasty by Wainwright. And you mentioned Carpenter. Both these guys, when they're right, their curveballs are as good as anybody. When they get hit, it's because they're hanging their curveball. And that probably happened a little more to Carpenter than it has to Wainwright this year. But both of them, obviously, outstanding years and outstanding pitchers.
That's a Don Brown deal. And don't forget, we'll hear from Adam Wainwright coming up a little later on. We'll hear from Tony La Russa as well as we continue on Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live after the 7-1 victory over the Chicago Cubs. And that included an Alan Craig 3-run homer. Helped out a little bit by that 23-mile-an-hour wind out to center.
Doesn't hurt.
Time for a play of the day from this afternoon's game at Wrigley, and let's give it to Matt Holliday. The first inning gets a single through the right side, and that's a single means that his hitting streak is extended to 16 games, Rick. Hitting now .315 on the year. That's the second longest hitting streak of his career, one shy of his record.
Finishing very well, hitting the ball to all fields.
Well, the Cardinals do win it, and Adam Wainwright becomes the 24th Cardinal in live ball era to win 20 games in a season. He's the first to do it since Chris Carpenter, of course, in 2005. Let's take a look at the last 5 Cardinals to pick up 20 wins.
Tudor is 1 out away from his 20th win, his 13th complete game, and his 10th shutout. Off the stretch, and the pitch to Mike Schmidt is on the way. Swing and a bouncing ball to third. Pendleton throws. That's the winner. And the Cardinals stay 4 games out in front.
That's John Tudor winning his 20th game back on September 26, 1985. Also in 1985, the Cards boasting a 20-game winner in Joaquin Andujar. And it wasn't until 2000 that the Cards could claim another 20-game winner, but that first year Cardinal Darrell Kyle was sensational, going 20-9 for that pennant winning club. And then it was the following season, Matt Morris had his best year as a Bird. He won a career-high 22 in that 01 season, 22-8 with a 3.16 and a couple memorable outings against the D-backs in the playoffs. The Cards would not have to wait too long for another 20-game winner. It was 2005.
Cardinals have another 20-game winner.
Okay.
It's Chris Carpenter, 20-4.
Of course, Carp goes on to win 21 and the Cy Young. Adam Wainwright becomes the second player in the National League this season with 20 wins, joining Roy Halladay of the Phillies. Halladay and Wainwright are Stiefel Nicholas front runners for the Cy Young, and I think you really have to say that these two have kind of taken a giant leap over guys like Ubaldo Jimenez and others.
And these two are neck and neck. That's what you'd say about both Halladay and Wainwright, each with a start, maybe two if you stretch it left. I wouldn't imagine that the Cardinals would do that now with Wainwright where they are, or the Phillies would do it, considering its playoff implications. But both guys having outstanding seasons, and I guess it's going to come down to which of all of those numbers do the baseball writers believe is the most important number to vote for the Cy Young. In my mind, earned run average and wins are the two numbers that you should be considering. I don't even know what FIP means.
It means fielding independent pitching ERA, which basically means if you take the ballpark out of the equation, which pitcher is better. Roy Halladay slightly ahead of Adam Wainwright in the FIP. But I think you're right. If you take ERA and that goes to Adam Wainwright and wins, which is now tied, you probably get the best indicator of who the best pitcher in the National League is.
And since I took a lot of statistics in college, I can tell you that a FIP means absolutely nothing to me until somebody proves to me that it's a relevant statistic, because you can make statistics say whatever you want them to say. So I'm not really that big on most of the sabermetric stuff in terms of the statistics, because I think it's garbage in, garbage out most of the time with that. But to me, earned run average is still the bottom line. Are you winning games, and are you keeping your team in games by not giving up runs? Period.
I'm still a look with your own eyes kind of guy too, and both of these guys have been terrific this year.
Oh, they're both great. Yeah.
And so I think it's really a toss-up, and we'll have to see. It might even go down to each one of their last starts, and let's just say which one ended up more strongly.
Both deserving. Both
are deserving. We're going to go inside the visiting clubhouse back at Wrigley Field in Chicago and hear from the 20-game winner.
Well, I had very good command today for sure. You never know what that wind's going to do, is howling out. I just used it to my advantage, really. I mean, I was able to move the ball around, and Pags did an amazing job behind the plate again. He's pretty impressive back there. He does a very nice job. Pagnazzi.
No.
But I knew early on that I had to keep the ball on the ground, keep the ball in the infield, because I could tell right away guys were going to try to jump ship on me, and rightfully so. You hit a fly ball today, the wind, had a good chance to take it out. So I altered my game plan a little bit, pitched a little bit backwards, and just made them try to hit my stuff.
After being so close last year, what does winning 20 mean to you?
Man, I certainly never thought I would do it. In the minor leagues, you look at the guys who won 20, and they were just kind of on a different level. So it's something I'll never forget. It's something I'm glad I got to share with this team, and there's a lot of hard work that goes into that, and a good bullpen that saves most of those games for me. So, I couldn't do it by myself.
Joining Sabathia and Halladay, that's great company to have in that class this year, isn't it?
It's amazing company. Yeah, two of the best pitchers in this era, really. I mean, the last 10 years, it's hard to find two better pitchers than that. So I'm very blessed to be in the conversation.
Did you sense your guys wanted it for you today? The offense started early and often.
Yeah, I did, and my team. They gave me a beer shower after the game. The team continues to impress me and continues to make me feel wanted and make me feel at home here on this team. It's not a better bunch of guys to share this with.
How about doing it against the Cardinals, arch rivals? All Cardinal fans love to see you do it against the Cubs.
Yeah, I like. It's fun to pitch at Wrigley always.
You've never lost.
But to beat the Cubs for your 20th win is an extra treat, no doubt.
What does that say about the team that this was a personal goal for you, 20, but it was almost like a team goal because everyone wanted it for you?
You mean it's just going into today? You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a tough season for our team. No question about it. But we have a team full of great guys, and I'm sick and tired of hearing people telling me that we're quitters. And I'll tell Bernie Miklasz right to his face and Jack Clark to their face that they're completely wrong. There's not a quitter on this team. But it's really awesome to win 20. My team has just put me on their back today. Really, all I had to go out there and do is get outs. I mean, they played great defense like they always do. and they put great swings on a tough pitcher. So.
Based on what it took you to get to 20, can you imagine what it took for some of the great pitchers of the years to win 25 or even 30? I know the game's changed a lot over the years, but what do you think it would take to accomplish that?
30?
Or 20, 25, 30? Or
it's just such a different game, you know. 25, I mean, I think that's possible. You've definitely got to get lucky. And I've had some good luck this year, and I think that the key is outlasting the other pitcher. But to win 30, I think it's almost impossible. You look at the first half Ubaldo Jimenez had, and he had 15 wins, I think, going into the All-Star break, and everybody was talking about, is there a chance that he win 30? Well, you basically got to win every start in the second half because the All-Star break's not exactly halfway. It's next to impossible nowadays, especially with bullpens being used the way they are.
Adam, Tony had mentioned Kyle pitching well today. Last year, he got a shot at redemption almost.
I was glad that Kyle got to get in there and sort of wipe the slate clean, because I know he feels real bad about what happened last year. Pitched 2 great innings like he has all year for us today. And I told him last year, 20, I could care less about 20. It's when you win it, that's when it's cool. But if I sit on 19, I did everything I could, and I know he did everything he could last year, you can never second guess somebody. But Kyle McClellan's been the best in the conversation. With him and Frankie have been just lights out the last 2 years in our bullpen. So it's always good to have those 2 guys behind you.
Well put, and I'm glad Jim asked that question of Adam Wainwright. You and I, you pointed it out immediately that when we saw Kyle McClellan warming up to come in the 7th, that it was almost the exact scenario as October 2nd of last year. Adam Wainwright in his final start trying to win number 20. He had a 6-1 lead against the Brewers. It was Kyle McClellan that came in, and the wheels fell off for he and the bullpen, and Adam Wainwright never got win number 20.
Yeah, the Brewers ended up winning that game 12-6, and I know that Kyle McClellan did feel bad about that. Of course, Adam Wainwright is a classy guy, and he's not going to hold that against McClellan. In fact, he's going to do everything he can to build him up. But that did hurt Kyle at some point, and I hope that this has been kind of a revival for him in that regard, and he can kind of not think about that again. Also, very interesting, not just that point, but the fact that Adam Wainwright used his bully pulpit there, winning victory number 20, to make sure he communicated to a couple of people and maybe a lot of people, all Cardinal fans, that he does not believe his teammates quit. He didn't like that word, and was pretty adamant about that. And interesting that he chose this opportunity, Pat, to bring that up.
Yeah, certainly is. And he is a spokesperson for that team and one of the team leaders, and he used that to express his feelings. It is Friday, and that means just one thing. No, we're not participating in Washington University's alumni rugby match. That's our producer, Max Linewan. Or we're not going to be rocking out later tonight at the Tonic concert for Slew's Homecoming. Well, maybe Rick will be, but I will not be. We're handing out the penultimate Hungo of the Year award. Dan and Al rejoin us now from the Windy City for the big announcement, guys.
Well, he has received it before, the Hungo Award. It is a Friday afternoon turning into a Friday night, so this is what we do every week throughout the baseball season, the Hungo Award, and no better time to get this one, number 20 for Adam Wainwright.
Well, that's it. Adam Wainwright hadn't been a Cardinal 20-game winner since Carpenter in his Cy Young Award, and only the 6th Cardinal pitcher in the last 25 years to have 20 wins. You know, Albert's going to get to 40 again. Holiday's going to get to 100 RBIs. Descalzo's going to get 4 hits again, but it doesn't always happen. The 20-win season, we found that out last year for Adam, so congratulations to Wainwright on our Hungo Award this week.
And Chris Carpenter will get the start tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon, bright and early. Cardinal baseball, Cubs and Cardinals in game number 2. Let's send it back to you.
Guys, thank you, and well-deserved. Hungo agrees. Maybe someday there'll be a Waino Award, like there is a Hungo Award, if Adam can continue his career as successfully as it started, and he does it all in a uniform that includes the birds on the bat.
And Al was a pretty good Cardinal pitcher. He didn't win 20, but he was very good. He was a Fireman of the Year, by the way, in 1970.
That's exactly right. You know, another good pitcher going tomorrow. The 3-game set continues on Fox Sports Midwest. 11:30 with the pregame show, Cardinals Live. Then at noon, Cards and Cubbies, Chris Carpenter and Casey Coleman, and all sorts of other alliterations. Stick around after the game, breaking it all down on Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live. And a closer look at the starters tomorrow. And Rick, you've got a little history lesson to give Cardinal Nation right now about the starter, the right-hander for the Chicago Cubs.
I'm still stuck on the alliteration comment. That was pretty good. Not only do we have Chris Carpenter and Casey Coleman going, Casey Coleman, his father was a all-star in the major leagues. Joe Coleman, who also was a pitching coach for the Cardinals, and his grandfather was also a Major League All-Star. Talk about having some tough shoes to fill. The Cardinals have already seen him this year. He's not a big guy, but he actually pitches pretty well. Numbers not very good in total, but I think the guy's got a future. He's still very, very young,
23
and
years
of course
old,
he's got the pedigree.
He does have the pedigree, and Chris Carpenter has got a Cy Young, and he's got the ability to pitch like a Cy Young guy. He's had his issues with the Cubs this season. He's 1-2 with a 4.15 ERA against the Cubs. Before this season, Ricky was 9-3 with an ERA under 3.
Well, what I say is never lose your penultimate game of the season. I always say it. I've said that forever. Ever since I learned what that word means, that we tend to love on this postgame show. But Chris Carpenter does want to finish strong. He's had some up and down moments in the last month, but you look again at the full body of work, and he can just be absolutely dominating. Cardinals are going to love to have him still a part of this rotation, because you still look at the top three. And by the way, Jaime Garcia, in case you missed it, is shut down for the season. Cardinals just don't want to take a chance of throwing him back out there and getting some more innings. But those top three are still great reasons for hope in Cardinal Nation when you start thinking about 2011.
Oh, absolutely. And Chris Carpenter wants to finish on a strong note. You can't underestimate just feeling good about the way you leave your season.
Yeah, the winter's a long time, long time for players. Typically, they'll take 4 weeks to 6 weeks off from doing everything, because every doctor will tell you, no matter what you sprain and what you tear and what you hurt and what problems you have, they say it'll be good in 4 to 6 weeks. So what you do is you take 4 to 6 weeks off and don't do anything. And then you figure everything that's a problem is healed, and you start working out again, lifting and running and throwing and all that. But if you're sitting on that last outing that you had, and it was a bad one, or your last game and you were maybe you're 0 for your last 10, I tell you, that is a very long 6 weeks, very long off season, and very cold winter.
It certainly is, and there'll be a lot of reflecting on this season anyway, so you might as well end up strongly and say, all right, we didn't accomplish what we wanted, but we got better by the end, and look forward to 2011. We'll look forward to wrapping things up on Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live. Keep it here on Fox Sports Midwest.